rank where the view is nothing less than phenomenal. For how I express and project from my abdominal. The only view better, both my daddy and my mama know. No living parents, my sons give me balance. My wife is my serenity, this mic is my identity. The world is foul enough, that's why I write without obscenities. Provoking danger with broken language and spoken anguish. Begging to get hurt, why would you ask to go through changes? Yes, Lord, life's a chessboard, master the angles. Control the tempo, be the one who holds the info. Acknowledge is just as deadly as machete swings. When spoken, the truth is as potent as that Medellin. While others swear the style is free, I just let it ring. Our time is undervalued, soldiers make us better kings. My fam's on my shoulder, reaching after better things. Today I take the shot, for them I'd rather set the screen.
My mama told me follow my dreams. My daddy told me get it by any means. Stand tall, make him bow to a king. But I've evolved, you can see the result. Look in my eyes when you speaking to God.
Life and for those who we caught up in using what I was taught with the muse. I guess they call it proving I'm more than an artist. Penciling out my darkest while stenciling out a harvest. And storing what gets me from A to B, just like garages. Instrumental with collages. Envision what I've been drawing. Broadway to give you rhythm like the great Lena on. So bent on, found comfort in the storm. Find peace and on when you see them others perform. Organized chaos, I'll cast it like hey ya.
Okay. All right. All right. That was strange, but let's rock. Yo, what's going on, party people in the place to be? It's your main man, Uncle Freezy, the #1 chief rocker in Knicks universe. Welcome to the Knicks at Night podcast. Yeah, I want this party started right. Yeah, I want this party started quickly, right? All right. Throw your hands in the air and wave them like you just don't care. And if you got some lube and a stick of juicy fruit, somebody say, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Scream. Let's go. Let's go. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Blue tears, orange tears, Blorange tears. Y'all know the chant. Let's rock. Hey, man, listen, y'all. I know a lot of people are frustrated by a lot of different things going on in Knicks Nation. I know we frustrated by a lot of different things. Man, we didn't get Donovan Mitchell. I know y'all want to talk about that some more. Man, we need to trade Julius Randle. I know y'all want to talk about that some more. Right? Right? Man, if Tibbs don't get this thing right, man, we got to do something with Tibbs. I got you. I got you. I got you. Man, we need to play these kids. I got you. I got you. I got you. Mr. Lee is in the building. What's good? Queens representative. Queens get the money. What's good, Mr. Vince? Mr. Vince, how you doing, man? How you doing, Mr. Vince? Mr. Vince said, I'll watch this joint in the morning, man. Hey, Mr. Vince, in the morning, we're gonna have another one in the morning, though. You know how you know how I get down, man. You know, got to give the people. Y'all know how we get down, man. Let's talk about team building. Let's talk about the pieces that are here and potential moves that could be made. Let's talk about how we can improve this team without gutting this team. Let me throw the link in the chat for a couple of people that I really, really like admire and like having around. I'm gonna throw this link in the chat for some people that I really like having around. Let's talk about what this team will look like this season. Let's do that. Man-child is in the building. Wisdom is in the building. What's good, Wiz? Mr. Lee, how you doing, bro?
Yo, good. Happy to see you, bro. I haven't had a chance to catch up with you in a good minute.
It's been a minute, bro. It's been a minute, man. How you been?
I can't complain, man. Had a blessed birthday. Had a crazy weekend. Shout out to my man
I
Worldwide
heard.
West.
I heard.
My man Worldwide West came and celebrated with me. We had a ball. You know what I'm
I
saying?
heard.
Yeah, come to the A, man. I'll show you a
Yeah,
good time.
I got to, bro. I got to get on this road, bro. I got to get.
Yeah,
I
man.
mean, I ain't never. Well, I'm like what 4 hours away. That ain't nothing.
Yeah. It ain't nothing for me to come out there and come catch a game out there in Charlotte neither. You know what I'm saying? Ain't but a
Hey,
hot
man,
skit in the jump.
got to, bro. Got to. Yo, because yo, what we do is we hang out. Like we hang out before the game, like get something to
hmm
eat. You know what I'm saying? And then all of
hmm
us like ride together to the game or meet up at a bar or something.
hmm
Right around the corner from where the Hornets play at. And
hmm
then after that, man, we try to empty out every bottle in Charlotte, North Carolina, or try to have fun. I'm sorry, we try to have fun in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Yeah, we have adult fun.
Yeah.
hmm
Have a ball, bro. Have a ball, man. Have a ball. Hey, man, what side are you on with this thing, man? How do you feel about the direction that the front office is going, bro, with this team?
All right. Well, seeing as though we in the what do you call it, the aftermath of all of this, I am, to be honest with you, I'm glad it's over with. To be
Right.
honest with you, now I've been quoted, stated, recorded. I done said this on your show. I done said it on L's show. You know, you know.
Right.
I wasn't. I'm not saying I wasn't. Did I want Donovan Mitchell? Yes. Was I willing to clean up the cupboard for him? No.
Okay.
No. You know, I'm not with a lot of our fandom and our brothers and sisters in the nation who's like, I'll give my mama and everybody else for Donovan Mitchell and then leave us bankrupt. No. You know, some people say he didn't draw a line. I say he drew a line and he stood by it. And now it's time to run these kids and see what we got. And that's the first. I can honestly say this, and I know I'm not gonna bring up what you don't want to hear about something that
Tom
starts with.
Thibodeau rotations. Oh,
Not even that. I'm not even, or even about it starts with a C. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna bring that up, but it's finally good to see these youngins get out here and show what their worth is. You know what I mean?
right.
and 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 I'll be very proud. I'm gonna be very proud this year because we have a legitimate point guard. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
We had a half butt point guard. You know what I'm saying? And my man Alf. You know what I'm saying? He only saw one side of the court, and then look what we did with that. So now we got somebody who can orchestrate the team a little bit better. And I truly believe that, you know what I'm saying, we're at least 8 games better than what we were last year.
Right. Bro, I ain't even gonna lie to you, bro. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I'm just glad for one, the Donovan Mitchell thing is over. I'm
hmm
with you. Right. But what really frustrates me in this whole Leon Rose offseason from hell is that there is a lot of double talk and speculation. Right. And all of that can be cured by Leon Rose and Tom Thibodeau just saying something to us.
I agree with you.
You know what I'm saying? Like how many shows on YouTube do you watch where you get mixed messages from everybody under the sun.
Bananas. That's why I don't. I ain't gonna lie to you, Freeze. Certain people I don't listen to no more. You know what I mean? And it's just for the simple fact that they've gained too much star power, and they forgot where their roots are. That's one. Two, you got people out here just talking to be talking because they have a platform.
Right,
You understand
right,
what I'm saying? And
right, right,
and I can't deal with that. There's very few people who I believe in organically,
right,
who I feel like speak from their heart. And not
right,
only that, but they have some idea of what they're talking about.
right. And bro, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. So I'm not in the game to point out like who was good and who was bad.
Hmm.
I'm in the game because ain't nobody else let me talk. Basically, I mean, I used to rock with Sim. You know what I'm saying? I used to rock with Sim a lot. You know what I'm saying? I thank Sim for a lot of the ways he helped me, man. But I just wanted to, you know what I'm saying, be on a joint where I can like express. I guess what happened is I felt like I got too big. You know what I'm saying, for that. No disrespect for them to Sim, right? But I just wanted to do a platform my way. You know what I'm saying? You know
And
how
ain't
like
nothing wrong
you
with
know
that.
yeah,
And there's
you know how
nothing
like
wrong with
you
that.
yeah. It ain't no. It's like when you a kid and your parents always be cooking, and then when you
Hmm.
get to a certain age, you like, yo, I'm gonna cook for myself. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Kind of like that. Kind of like that.
Control
Right?
your own narrative and
Yeah.
have your voice heard your way, and
Yeah.
have the people on that you want. You know what I'm saying, to hear their voices and get their opinions. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And
and
it's a
and
lot.
and
It's a
and,
lot of people
and,
doing
and
it.
that's why this is why I rock with you. I rock with for the love of the game. Shout out to them
Right. Yeah, man.
because they allow the little man to speak.
Right.
And what I
Right.
mean, the little man, the average Joe, everybody who can connect to YouTube.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They open a platform, and
Right.
if you're a Knicks fan, and even if you're not a Knicks fan, and you got an
Yeah.
opinion to offer, you know what I'm saying? You could be heard, and I can yo, that right there is worth more than all these other shows that I watch. You know
Right.
what I mean? Because it ain't but a handful of you that I
Right.
watch.
Right. I can appreciate that, man. I can appreciate that. And the thing too is we get so many messages from so many different directions,
Hmm.
right? And so, man, what I want to do is this. You part of that is not their fault that they get mixed messages, man. They talking about the mixed messages they get. But my frustration is all this stuff out here, Leon Rose. You can end all of this by just having a press conference and saying, "Yeah, we chased Donovan Mitchell. They asked too much. We wasn't gonna pay that much. We always believed in the kids, but when a cat like Donovan Mitchell come available, you got to at least try to see if you can get him." If that's all he had to do was come out and say that.
I get what you're coming from, Frizzy, but I think also too, there's other things that are floating around out there that these vultures and I'm talking about media people who are outside of the Knicks nation who want to trample on him about certain things, certain acquisitions, and how we did certain things and how we came about them. You
Right,
understand what I'm saying?
right, right,
And
right,
so and see, and that's the stuff that detracts away from what he's trying to do, or at least try to get his message out. You know what I'm saying?
right.
Because then there's always somebody out there, you know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna bring up a name, and I'm not saying that this person does this all the time, but Mark Berman, for
Okay,
example, he'll take it and he'll spin it. You know what I
okay,
mean? And not
right,
to say that he's not telling you the truth, but he's spinning it to a narrative to where it possibly could be meaning this. You know what I mean? You
right,
know, and and I can't get with that. You know what I mean? I can't get with certain people who still are trying to find their own personal gain when you're trying to research a story. You know
right,
what I
right.
mean? And try to get to the bottom of it. And
Okay,
I speak for a lot of Knicks fans. You know, and we're tired of clickbait.
right,
You know, click on me and listen to what I gotta say, and with the most ridiculous story that I've ever heard, or the most craziest trade scenarios, or this
Right.
is what's going down. You know what I mean?
Right.
Ah, I'll hear it. If I hear somebody else repeat it, I'll listen to it. But will I go research it that way? No. And nothing against Berman, because I think he's been covering the Knicks now, what, 20, 25 years now.
Yes, it's a long time, man. It's a long
Yeah,
time.
so I can't say that all his sources aren't factual, but sometimes they're misleading. You know what I mean?
Okay.
They're misleading to me, at least.
Okay.
And that's
Oh,
why, and that's why Leon doesn't want them to have him in the room. That's why they weren't allowed in the room when it was all about Jalen Brunson.
right. 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 No, I get that part. Can he release a statement though?
I totally agree with that. You know what I'm saying? Just to get us back where not I can't say he's lost us, but he's lost he lost some kind of credibility to some degree. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Or not even credibility. What's the word I'm thinking of? My godmother said this to me one time. Integrity.
Okay.
His integrity of his intentions. You know
Okay.
what I'm saying?
Right.
Because his main intention is just to make the Knicks better. So I could see him jumping out the window and trying to get a big fish like Donovan Mitchell. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
you can't blame him.
You can't
His,
blame him.
yeah, his job is to accumulate top level talent. That's his
Hmm.
job.
So you
Right.
can't blame him for that. But now, how he went about it, you know what I'm saying? And then I think also too, there was too many. Everybody, I think I heard Josh say it earlier today, and also too, I heard it earlier. You know, rocking out with the bros, and there was too many chefs in the kitchen. And I
Yeah.
think Leon, if we're gonna call him the Don, Leon needs to gain reigns over his people. You know what
Leon,
I'm saying?
what is he the don of though? What is he the don of?
I'm just saying they gave him that name. I let him have it. It's a name. It doesn't mean nothing to me. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? Because he's still at the end of the day, he's still president of basketball operations. So that doesn't change the fact of who he really is. You
Right.
know. So don't be a sucker for that either. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Not saying you, but Knicks fans in itself. Because that man knows himself he's not a Don. That man knows because if he was a Don, he would have pulled that deal off, and we still would have had R.J. Barrett and some significant um players that we could still build around with, but we didn't.
Right.
So, mhm. Like
Yeah.
they say, damned if you do, damned if you don't, and I'm glad we didn't. Because you know why? Because if he did the deal and if it was projected, just say if any of the rumors or some of the rumors were true on how this deal was supposed to get done, we'd have been jumping out the window like, why we give up all of that for him? You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
And I'm gonna tell you like this, you know, the Donovan. Who's to say Donovan was gonna be happy in Cleveland? Who's to say that Donovan, might force his way up out of there?
Yeah. I was gonna Adam G just asked that. I was gonna address that. Do you think Donovan Mitchell going to demand a trade to the Knicks? I think he is going to be one of those disgruntled stars, but you gotta kind of be careful. You gotta be careful with the disgruntled star thing because while you looking over there at they disgruntled stars, you might be making disgruntled stars at home.
Hmm.
You
For
know what I'm
sure,
saying? Because
for
if
sure.
you constantly be floating your players' names in trades, every time they turn around, they name in the trade, they gonna want to just go. They just gonna want to go, bro. And I mean, I understand that. I've been around people long enough to understand that you can't keep on threatening to bring in new people before the people that you already got go on leave.
Hmm. Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So you just got to be careful because it's a double-edged sword, man. You can't just be like just be on that. So Adam G, I was gonna get to. I saw it. I was gonna get to it, man. But Mr. Lee beat me to it. So I guess it's like great minds thinking. Like all three of us already thinking about. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Nick G. A to Z Media Network is in the building. Jeremy was good. Manchild was good. Fashiza is in the building. I see y'all, man.
Shout out to the chat, man. Shout out to the chat.
Yeah, shout out to our peoples, bro. So my deal is if you're the Knicks, I have a thing. I'm gonna put it on the screen. Let me pull it up. There it is. So I do have it. I'm gonna share this with everybody so y'all can see. It's ugly though. It's ugly. It's like an ugly shirt. But I'm gonna share it. I'm gonna share it with everybody. Right. So this is what I have is the Knicks 15-man roster, and this is what I have as the two-way deals currently. And as you can tell, the Knicks are missing two players, two roster spots. Right. Right. So here's the thing. Here's the thing with it. If your starters are, and y'all just bear with me, but before y'all,
lose your minds.
Yeah. Let me throw this link in the chat one more time for my peoples. Let me do that one more time. The Knicks have two roster spots, right? And I'm thinking from day one, the starters are going to be Brunson, Fournier, RJ, Julius, Mitchell Robinson, right? So that means your backups are going to be Rose, Quickly, Grimes, Obi, Hartenstein. So off rip, that leaves out Miles McBride, that leaves out Cam Reddish, and that leaves out Jericho Sims. Right? Now what? Can you win with that?
I'm gonna say this. All right, me from what you just stated, possibly, yeah, definitely. I'm gonna say yes, we can. Now, I just think there should be a little bit more twerking to that,
Right.
As far as like this, because I'm telling you, like right now, every player on that roster so far, until we find two more people to put on that roster, I'm gonna say this: that they need to go in there with I got no friends on this team.
Right.
They should be playing for their basketball lives. You know what I'm saying? Even if you just got your contract, or you got your contract 2 years ago, or you got one looming, or if you're just trying to get your stock up as a player, because anything can happen, and I say this because I cannot foresee the future, but I can say this, that if you're hungry, Tom's gonna play the best 9-10 players on that list. Because he's playing. Because right now he's coaching for his career.
Right.
He's coaching for his career, and there's no ifs, ands, buts about it.
Yeah. And can you blame him? Can you blame him for trying to coach to keep his job?
No, you can't.
Some of us like working.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Unless you got a job set up at ESPN to be an analyst.
Yeah. And then plus some of us, if we get a job doing like for instance, my brother used to be a truck driver, right? And so I'm like, man, what are you seeing driving trucks, man? He was like, yo, I love it, man. I love it. I can't see myself doing nothing else. And I'm like, man, really? On an open road by yourself? You just wanna, you're like, yeah, man. That's just what I like to do.
And I
And so,
can understand because this is what I do. You know, I mean, I'm not saying I'm not all the way out there on the open road. I'm in the morning in the southeast region, and I ride around. And I tell you like this. Listen, and this is my explanation for that is because the scenery changes. It doesn't get boring,
right,
and
right,
and I don't. And my boss is not breathing down my neck.
right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So can you blame Tibbs for that? Because Tibbs is in the same situation.
Well, Tim's in a situation where he allowed his old ways to blind him for what he had. You know, you never know the best pieces of fruit that you pick until you start picking it. You know what I mean? Like you
Right.
like that tree ain't produced nothing in a minute. Or give it a minute. Give it
Well,
a minute.
just give it a minute, right?
Give it a minute. Exactly. And so what he was looking for is what I told you. Matter of fact, Soulfinger was on the air with us. Yeah, who would you rather have? Your mama's homemade macaroni and cheese or that Kraft? You
Easy.
know
That's
what?
easy.
Of course. It takes time. And he wasn't willing to invest the time at that time and moment. But also too now, you can't be mad at him because some of the ingredients they gave him was kind of stale. You know what I mean?
Right, right, right.
So you can't,
And
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 then
you can't blame them too, because that girl that you with that was fine, she don't know how to cook. She gotta
hmm
learn. She
she
gotta
gonna
learn, and she ain't gonna learn overnight either.
exactly.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
So you might have to put on a couple of, you might have to get a couple of books and put on a couple on a cooking podcast
Yes, yeah, you know what I mean?
and teach her how to do something. But you know, it is what it is.
Yeah,
But the
yeah,
point of it all is this: if Tibbs is anything the man that he's portrayed himself to be, if he still has that integrity, like he came off like he did, then he will find the errors of his ways and dig down deep and start trusting these young fellas. You know what I mean? He's gonna
yeah.
have to. He has no choice because I mean he's backed into a corner.
Right.
So you might as well just swing. I'll be trying to doing like Reggie Jackson used to do, swing for the fences every time.
Every time, bro. Every time.
Every
Every
time.
time. Yeah, man. But yeah, man. But you know this thing with the Knicks is complicated though, because you got three young players in Jericho Sims, Cam Reddish, Miles McBride that we feel like need minutes, right?
Uh,
But
I,
who you
I'm
gonna play them over?
Yeah, but see Jericho Sims, I'm not really worried about him too tough because I think he understands his position. You
Right,
know what I mean? Where he is, and he's still in the learning stages of this game.
right,
So, and to lose playing time maybe to Hartenstein is because maybe he needs to develop some of the skill sets that he has, or he's not really. He's still raw. You know what I'm saying? In the
right.
sense of of the game, where Mitch has had that kind of leapfrog ahead because we had what's my man who was the Clippers center to kind of
You know as well? No, not knows as well. Hartenstein.
not the one before. I mean the one, oh my god, the one who bodied my man Brevin Knight, not Brevin Knight,
Oh, DeAndre Jordan.
DeAndre Jordan. Now he showed him, and that little bit of time we had DeAndre Jordan, I could see he learned a lot from him,
Right,
just how to stay in the game, and it
right,
showed because now what as we see his game has gotten better and better and better, and now that we have a point guard without blinders, I can
yeah,
see him getting better and being a more of an offensive, not necessarily threat, but somebody who would have to be like second guess. You know what
right,
I mean?
right,
When it comes to the pick and roll.
right, right, right.
So
No, I get no, I get it. I get what you're saying, man. My deal is though, um, with all these kids, man, with
I,
all these kids needing minutes, I mean,
Well, they're gonna have to make a move somewhere
Yeah,
eventually.
yeah.
Eventually, somebody's head has to fall, whether it be Fournier, whether it be Julius, whether it be Obi, you know, Cam. We're gonna have to lose. We're gonna have to lose somebody. You know, me preferably. I mean, and I don't hate Julius Randle. I come off like I hate Julius Randle sometimes, and I really don't, because I appreciate all the hard work. Because you know what, it takes a lot for somebody, number one, to come to New York and put on the heaviest jersey in the NBA. So I give him the most props. Now, what the reasons why I want to move on from him, number one, is because yeah, I can't get over that thumbs down. I can't. You know what I mean? I
Mhm.
can't get over the fact that you can't look the media in the eyes. I can't get over the fact that, you know what I'm saying. You have
That's the one. That's the one for me. The thumbs down thing, man. I don't give a shit. I mean,
yeah.
that thumbs down, man. I don't give I don't care. So he gave a thumb. And then when I heard the backstory,
Mhm,
I lost respect for Randall. What Randall
mhm,
should have did was went over to them dudes and choked somebody out. But he
mhm.
gave him a thumbs down. He took the soft way out.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Them dudes over there talk about your wife, and they do it every game. These dudes season ticket holders. They do it every
Yeah.
game.
Yo,
You know
I'd
what I'm
have took
saying?
I'd have took yo, I'm gonna tell you something. I'd have took a suspension. I would have took a year suspension and lost all that bread, because you're gonna get that money back.
Yeah, yeah,
Knowing
man.
Dolan
Right.
gonna take care of you. You know what I'm
No, they
saying?
over there talk about your kid. They mad. They mad because after the game, these dudes are mad because after the game, you not shaking hands with the opponent. You weren't going over there to give your son a hug. Right? See, that's what I'm mad. That's what I'm mad about Julius Randle about, bro. These dudes is coming at you with with these soft things. Stop hugging your son and go jack up Zach Levine. That's
Man,
some classic. See, that's some classic fan.
bullshit. Excuse
Yeah,
me.
you know what I'm saying? Yeah, yeah, man. And people that don't know, they saw the thumbs down Julius Randle gave these cats, right? That had been heckling him the whole time. And they like, and people will be like, he was giving thumbs down to Knicks Nation. No, he did. Julius Randle, how he giving a thumbs down to Knicks Nation and he won't
You,
even look you in the eye? Hey, what's up,
Peace.
Greeny?
what's good,
What up?
y'all? How y'all doing tonight?
What's up, Greeny?
What's
We
good?
good, bro.
Oh, this
Yeah.
Corey, that's Corey, that's Corey.
Yes, sir.
Oh, you know we was harassing that Raptors fan earlier.
Man, forget him, man. You see how I came back to him and told him to go. Didn't I tell you to kick rocks?
hmm
Didn't I tell you go kick rocks, bro? Because he was up in there talking crazy. But it is what it is. But I tell Freezy and I tell everybody, I love the hate. I love the hate, because that hate ain't nothing but motivation. You know what I
Right,
mean? It
right.
motivate.
That's a fact.
If that don't motivate you to be the best that you could possibly be every day, every minute, every breath that you take in your life,
I'm about to
then
do
you
some
ain't no.
push-ups right now, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
because
ain't work.
Uncle Freeze, he was in there. He was in there typing in the chat. Thaddeus Young is on the Raptors. Like that was supposed to make me scared or something. I'm like, what are you talking like? Thaddeus Young?
But you talking to a basketball fan, you talking basketball with a novice.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
literally.
You know what I'm
Wait a
saying?
minute. So that is your weapon X that you
Dude,
have Thaddeus Young?
dude was talking about Raptors as top 3 in the East. I was like,
Okay.
whoa,
All right.
whoa.
Okay.
Hey,
Okay.
bro.
That's something
Listen.
you can have that, bro. I ain't.
Listen. I don't listen. First of all, that's conjecture to me. I don't
Right.
talk paper. I don't talk about paper, what you see on paper. I talk about what I see in front of me. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I don't play against what's written typed down
Right.
on paper. I play against people who are right there, physically in front of me. And you're
Right.
gonna have to physically defeat me in order to tell me you're better than me every night.
Right. Right.
What's
You
good, C
know.
Mac? They're calling me Greeny from LA.
But Greeny from LA. They so silly. But yeah,
Greeny
man.
from
Yeah,
CILIFLY.
yeah,
Yeah, man.
LI. But yeah,
Yeah,
man.
man.
I honestly listen. Tibbs got to step it up this year. You know what I'm saying? If not, yo, I will not mind giving him his walking papers
Yeah,
because
man.
I was gonna say,
I
what was you guys talking about before I hopped on here?
Hey, yo, you heard from Coach?
I talked to
earlier.
Coach earlier today. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but yeah, we was talking about we was talking about this. I'm gonna put it back on the screen, right? Because we got a conundrum, bro. You can't you don't have enough room to play all these kids. See, look at what we have, like what we think will be the starting lineup, right? Like Brunson, Fournier, Barrett, Randall, Robinson, Rose, Quickly, Grimes, Toppin, Hartenstein coming off the bench, and McBride, Reddish, and Sims not getting no minutes. Now, whether you think Grimes is the starter and Fournier is the backup, it don't matter because it's still the same 10 cats.
I think the person that gets taken out, and unfortunately, it's like one of my favorite players that I like growing up is gonna be D Rose. He's the man out. Like it sucks. It sucks to say it, but he's the man in the way of the youth. And because if you move D Rose, then you can move IQ and QG up, and then you move Cam right into that spot. And that's who needs to be evaluated. Like really, like realistically, because nobody's gonna want Cam Reddish if he's just sitting on the bench. He has no value now.
Right.
Well,
And neither,
but that leads me to go back to saying Cam Reddish needs to come into this training camp like his life depends on it, which he really
True.
does.
True. He needs to play like a
but Lee,
contract year.
Lee, that's what that don't solve it though. That don't solve it. You know why? Because say Cam Reddish come out and balls out of control, right? And he replaced somebody. Guess what? The person he replaced now has no value.
Not necessarily.
You see what I'm saying?
Not necessarily.
Nah. Say yeah. Think about this. Say Cam Reddish comes in and he balls out. He beats out Evan Fournier, right? Now Evan Fournier is a bench player, not getting no minutes. Now you got $18 million in salary tied up in a dude that don't play.
I think now, me personally, I think that man right there is not going to have too many problems on getting a job, and that's just off the strength of he's the shooting phenomenon. Now, he can. I've seen him light up. I've seen him put us back in the games.
Yeah.
So he's not going to have a problem getting a job. Anybody else, him and D Rose, I think they can get work just off the history of who they are
You talking about
themselves
on another team?
on another team.
So why not do it right now? What we waiting on?
Yeah, they needed to be moved. They did need to be moved.
Yeah, why you taking them into training camp?
I don't know. Ask Brock Weiler.
Yeah. I know that's you see why this thing is so
They didn't have
interesting.
any more They ain't have any more first round draft picks to dish off to somebody so they get another contract off.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, so even think about it. Even if Cam balls out of control, right? And say he beats out Quentin Grimes in camp.
I'm not saying that he beats out anybody. I'm saying like Cam has like a strong 17 off the bench, and then that grows his value. Like he have a strong 17 off the bench. Then you got then like you said, then it's gonna be, should we start Cam? Should we trade him?
Right.
Then you got value with Cam and the starter still, and I think that would be the best thing for the Knicks. They should have let him come off the bench and let him IQ and QG come off the bench and be the big three. That would be nasty.
So what about Rose?
Running around.
So what about Rose? You saying just get rid of Rose?
Send him to a team that he can get a championship. Like that's just like, come on, man. And Tim should do that. Like this guy has been on your team most of his career. Like he's worked his tail off for you. You need to send him to do your due diligence. Send him to a team that can win a championship or contend.
The Clippers.
And just make me y'all bear with me, right? Let me make y'all laugh real quick. So y'all see how this is a log jam right now, right?
Of
see
course.
How this is a log jam? Last year, just imagine. Last year we had Kemba, Alec Burks, Taj Gibson, and Nerlens Noel to this log jam.
Crazy.
How you gonna play all these dudes? And sure, Jalen Brunson and Hartenstein wasn't here, right? Brunson and Hartenstein wasn't here, but still, that means if you had them four, bro, that's still your roster is full to the rim. Bro, I'm not even gonna hold you, bro. Y'all know how I feel about these kids, right? I think you still gotta consolidate, man. I think you gotta consolidate some of these kids, bro. Yeah, I would look at that Phoenix trade that they floated out there in the paper. That Jay Crowder for a first round and a second round pick for Randall. I would strongly look at that. And then I would
Hold on, strong. You look at what? Say it one more time. I had a phone call. Sorry about that.
It was in the Arizona Republic, there was a trade rumor that Phoenix offered Jay Crowder a first round pick and a second round pick for Julius Randle.
Yo, he's gone. I told you. Matter of fact, if I gotta go get the TM or the FM or whichever manual I can get to learn how to fly a helicopter or a plane, he's out of here, and I'm taking it myself.
See, I would do that deal, but Knicks fans will have to know that that's gonna come with a year of us being bad to be good the next year, like that. Because I think that's
hold on a
what
second.
would happen. Like they would have to learn how to play together. Oh, my bad.
No. You go ahead, finish. My fault. I cut you off.
No. Go ahead. No, you good. Go ahead.
No. My point to you is this: that I honestly don't think we'll be that bad either. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure Obi's gonna take his lumps. You know what I mean? But that's what he needs. And I swear,
I agree with that. I think it will be a lot of growing pains.
Yeah, but I swear, yo, I am not my eyes did not blind me when I saw the last 10, 12 games of the season with this young man. You know what I'm saying? So the potential was there, right there. You know what I'm saying? That's why I would make that deal. And just the fact that to loosen up the log jam, and also to add another wing.
Yeah.
We need somebody.
You're right about that.
But the thing with me is I'm not keeping Jay Crowder either.
Oh, cut on him.
Once I get Jay Crowder, man, I'm looking to flip him to a playoff team too. I'm looking to flip and just go all with the kids and see what these kids got. You know what I'm saying? And because even though I like Randall as my thing is emotionally, I think Julius Randle is soft.
Exactly, I agree.
Because you got season ticket holders that come to every home game and berate you and your wife and your family, and you don't say nothing. And then you muscle up and give them a thumbs down, and then everybody in New York act like you said something about their grandma. You wasn't even come on, bro. Come on, bro. Randall, come on, bro. See, you handled that all wrong. If you just went over there and punched somebody in their mouth, you know,
right to the source, cut it right at the source.
Right.
Get to the root of the problem.
Texas. You from Dallas, Texas? Yeah. Come on.
Nah, I'm not gonna put that on him. I'm not gonna put that on. I
know some dudes from Dallas.
Exactly. That I you know what I'm saying. Look at. I'm not saying I'm the hardest person out here, but you know what I'm saying. I gotta.
We don't never want to give nobody. We ain't saying that, y'all.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying. But you gotta be strategic.
You gotta protect your family. As a man, you protect your family, bro. Yo, Greeny, what if somebody was saying something about your family and you playing ball every game?
Bro. I ain't gonna lie. I'm the type of person where I'm gonna make you pay with my game. I'm gonna show you that on the court that you're gonna be like, oh, nah, I shouldn't have said that. Like, you feel me? But
they don't do that because
Julius is too emotional. Like, Julius is too emotional.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I agree with you.
Too emotional. Physically fit, in shape to ignore.
And Nick G, I understand that. I'm not advocating for that, Nick G. What I'm saying is at some point you at least call security and get them kicked out, bro.
Oh, exactly. Because I ain't gonna lie to you, man. A loose ball will end up flying over somebody's face. Like, oops, you all right? You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah. You know what I'm saying? I mean, come on. I
A
mean,
lot of
I,
Knicks
I, I
fans will
get
be scared to do the Julius Randle for Jay Crowder, but it makes sense because then our youth could develop. Like that's what I like about that
right.
trade, Uncle Freezy. Because then Obi can develop. Then these guys that we need playing time for, we can see what they could do now with the playing time. Now we can see what we have and get rid of these players or keep them. Like, cause I'm tired of the Knicks being in this never-ending cycle of developing players and never seeing their maximum potential because somebody's in the way blocking them from seeing their potential.
And then the person blocking them is never the long term. It's never the long term solution.
Exactly. Never solution. Never the solution.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're never part of the long-term story. Exactly like you said. Like everybody knows Julius Randle is not part of the long-term success in this team. So why is he still blocking Obi Toppin? It's just like
like Marcus Morris, and the dude from what's the dude from St. John's? What's the dude from St. John's that we traded for? We traded Marcus Morris for him.
Mo Harkless.
That's my man.
Yo,
what's happening, fellas?
Hey, what's up, boss? You gonna play Mo Harkless over Kevin Knox?
Seriously, that was stupid.
Come on, bro.
And
the Knicks always been doing that.
But also too, but that still leads to that's why that little boy is inept right now in the league, and he's walking around here. He's probably gonna end up in Europe someplace.
Yeah. I think he's gonna be one of them dudes. That's gonna go play overseas, realize that he can play, get his confidence up, and come back and be a contributor on a championship team.
Yes.
Now, and I ain't talking about a starter. I'm just talking about a dude off. He's gonna be like a dude off of somebody bench, like a 3-point shooter, 3-and-D.
Yeah, solid player.
Yeah.
Solid player. You know,
that's what PJ Tucker did.
Yeah.
Yep.
But that's basically what we're saying, bro.
Yeah.
That's what Pat Beverly did.
Exactly. A lot of cats. Hey, what's the man? My man, the coach. He was a coach for Minnesota. He did that. He won Coach of the Year. What's my bro name? Oh man, where the glasses?
Sam Mitchell.
Sam Mitchell.
That's what you're talking about.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Which is, you know what I'm saying, which is crazy. But sometimes, like you got to go through some things to mature mentally and physically.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Ready. Yeah, he just wasn't ready. Bro.
Yeah, and you know what though, and I'm not gonna say anything, but whoever advised him or suggested that he go pro,
right,
they did him dirty.
Right. For his first mistake is he went to Kentucky.
Yes.
That was his first mistake. Right. He went to Kentucky. He scored all these points in Florida high school. He went to Kentucky. He was basically there with a bunch of freshmen. There were no veterans on that team. That team was Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. It was Hamidou Diallo, Kevin Knox, Jarrett Vanderbilt, and the big Nick Richards. I think Nick Richards, was it? The light-skinned center?
I think so.
Yeah, so it was like 5 freshmen, no veterans. Right? And then Shai Gilgeous-Alexander got up to a poor start. Hamidou Diallo got up to a poor start. And Kevin Knox was burning up the SEC as a freshman. And that's what catapulted him into
Yes, that's true. Kevin Knox he averaged the most points as a freshman under Calipari. Every player that played under Calipari, John Wall, Julius Randle, Eric Bledsoe, Anthony Davis, out of all of them, the one that averaged the most as a freshman is Kevin Knox. And that's exactly what Freezy said.
Kevin Knox was a baller at Kentucky.
And came in bowling.
And the fact that his jump shot in college looked like Allen Houston's jump shot.
Oh wow! How you gonna compare that, bro?
No. I didn't say they were the same type player. I said
no.
I'm
saying the jump shot.
I'm just talking about. I'm talking about the jump shot looks similar. Yeah, it's film out there where Allen Houston and Kevin Knox are shooting around in practice and their jump shots look similar. You can find it on the internet.
Wow, I gotta look that up.
Yeah. Allen Houston and Kevin Knox shooting in the practice facility, and they jump shot looks similar, right? And the Knicks see that, they're like, "Oh my God, look at what we got!" No, my God, look! Don't pick this dude.
Fool's gold. Fool's gold.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, man. This dude, man. Yeah. They, man. I'm so frustrated, bro.
Check it out, baby, because I'm telling you right now.
And then like Uncle Freezy just said, they got Kevin Knox and was so high and mighty, and this is the guy. And then you literally sign a guy that's gonna play over
8 dudes. You signed 8 dudes to play in front of him.
Make that make sense. Make it make sense. How are you developing your players when you're going in the offseason and signing players to compete that's going to take his minutes? Like, it doesn't make sense.
Right.
Not only that, but the horrible head coach, the boot with that.
Yeah. Y'all remember when they signed Wayne Ellington and Reggie Bullock at the same time?
Wow. Do I ever.
Wayne Ellington and Reggie Bullock. And then Reggie Bullock had signed with the Knicks and then had neck surgery.
Yep, right after that.
Yeah, you remember that? And
he was in a car accident.
Yeah. You're like, yo, what? Oh my God. But I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this to Selly. Selly, you know what I would do if it were me? And I know this is gonna sound weird, and I touched on it a bit last night. If I'm the Knicks, and I see, and this is the Knicks roster at the moment, right? I'm gonna bring it up one more time so that y'all can see it.
All right.
So this is the Knicks roster right now. So I know it's not fancy looking, but yeah, man. So this is what the Knicks roster looks like right now, right? And on the bench, you have Miles McBride, Cam Reddish, Jericho Sims. You got Obi, Grimes, Quickly that won't start. I think Hartenstein, it may eventually be the starter if he can convert all the stuff he does in a small sample size. I think he's going to eventually beat out Mitch, right? But here's the thing: you got all these dudes, right? You got all these dudes, but you have no Kobe Bryant.
Yep.
You have no Tracy McGrady on this roster. You have no Jason Tatum, right? You don't have a Jason Tatum on this team. You don't have an Allen Iverson on this team, right? You don't even have a Gary Payton. You don't have a Sean Kemp. You know what I'm saying?
You have a lot of threes.
And then these threes are undersized. Like RJ Barrett is an undersized small forward at 6'6", 214. Is he right there? Probably so. I like my wings to be like 6'7", you know what I'm saying, with a long wing, with a long wingspan. RJ Barrett ain't that guy, right? And if you're gonna be 6'6", you better be one hell of an explosive athlete, and he also ain't that, right? And then you got Grimes, who is the second unit small forward. He's 6'4", right? Quickly, the second unit shooting guard is 6'3". Derrick Rose is 75 years old, right? and then you have Randall, and then Fournier and Brunson. When you
don't talk about our 75-year-old closer, as the chat would say.
Nah, I'm just saying it is what it is, bro. I checked his driver's license. I saw his license. He's 75. He's 75. But listen, but look at our starters. Look at our starters, right? Aside from Mitch, outside, that's my dog right there. He mad.
That's Benny.
No, that's the other one. That's the old dog.
Oh.
I can't touch him. He will not learn a new trick to save his life, bro.
They say they don't know. Old dogs don't learn new tricks.
The only thing he do is wag his tail for snacks. But anyway,
I got one of those.
But when you look at Randall, Barrett, Fournier, and Brunson, which one out of those four is the dude that you say is an elite athlete?
Out of the none of them.
Definitely got to be my boy, the Frenchman.
Yeah, I mean, he got cooked today. France got cooked.
You said Greeny, you said Evan Fournier is an elite athlete?
Yeah. No, he didn't say that.
No. The Knicks know this. This is the reason why they went after Jaden Ivey. It's the reason why they went after Donovan Mitchell. Because they can basically kill two birds with one stone. They can clear up this logjam that they have and infuse athleticism into the roster. But they got neither.
Nope. And then you look at the Houston Rockets, and they have nothing but athleticism and no maturity.
Yeah, right.
You can go too far, right? Like you can go. Right. It's hard to find that balance. But I got what you're saying, man. Because if you look at Houston, they got dudes everybody will jump out the gym,
right?
But they have no maturity. So you have a lot of maturity, but you don't have that.
Would you, if you were the Knicks, would you make an offer to the Houston Rockets?
Oh, that'd be interesting. I don't think they're going to chop that up.
Not yet, not quite.
I think they will because they have. Who
would you go after?
I think they have duplicity at the big, right? Because they have Osprey Segun, and they and then they also have what's the other guy name? I forget the other guy.
Julius Randle to the Rockets.
Oh, I'd do that in a heartbeat too.
Nah, they wouldn't do it because they just drafted.
Yeah, they got Jabari Parker.
Yeah.
So he's playing the 4, and they got that other rookie too. They picked up 2 nice players this year,
right? And they picked up nice players last year too.
Yeah, because I think Jalen Green's going to be a baller.
Yeah, I think Jabari is going to do good over there too.
Oh yeah.
Oh, they have Trey Burke also. Okay.
But I know they had another. I'm just trying to think of a team.
Usman Garuba, that's the dude I was trying to remember. I'm sorry.
The opposite of the Knicks, right? That's what the team that came to my mind was like. What's the team opposite of the Knicks? And it's young, no maturity, but super athletic because they're going to be a Showtime team. I don't know if they'll win a lot of games, but that team's going to be highlights every night.
Yeah, they won't, but man, they'll be fun to watch.
Yeah, they'll be fun to watch.
Yeah, I mean, man. Jay, what's good, bro?
Good evening, fellas.
Good evening.
Man, I
would.
Jashawn Tate. You could pick up like a Jashawn Tate. That would be a decent.
They drafted Tata Washington.
Do they still have Kenyon Martin Jr.?
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They also drafted the best big man that nobody's talking about in a few years. Sengun, he's gonna be a problem.
Yeah. He's small though for a center.
He's gonna be a problem.
Yeah, I think he'll end up moving to the 4 personally.
But don't let EG be in here. He'll tell you Hartenstein way better than Sengun.
Hey, you know who else they got? They drafted Tari Eason.
Yep.
Yeah, that's who the Knicks should have went after. That would have been athleticism, defensive, play, like everything. That would have literally turned our pace up too crazy because he's a in the lane steals guy. Like Tari Eason. Yeah, I was like, like he doesn't really have an offensive game, but he can shoot still. But he's a very athletic defensive guy. Like he got the length, the 6'8", 6'9". I think he's around that size. Like, yeah, yeah.
And, that kid Josh Christopher's good too. They have a lot of really good small forwards. Jashawn Tate, Josh
I forgot about Jacob.
Yeah, they're good. He's good too. I remember watching him last year. He played really good defense on Luka.
You see what Houston did, which is what I want the Knicks to do. They got a whole lot of young talent, and we're talking about them, and they're gonna play. And within the next 1 to 2 years, they're gonna figure out of all those guys, which is the guys they want to build upon, and they're gonna trade those other guys for assets. That's what we should be doing.
It just goes back to what I told Uncle Freezy earlier. John Wall was on that team. John Wall came out and said, "Hey, I want to play." And the Rockets
Right.
said, "No, we're going to put our young guys out here because we want to see what we have." And that's what the Knicks need to do. They don't ever do that. They don't
Yep.
do that.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. The season hasn't begun yet, fellas. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm telling you this. I'm reserving my judgment until I see what we're gonna do, and then from that point on, then I will make my judgment on what I feel like we need to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's like the Knicks haven't decided who their cornerstone piece is. Like the Rockets can say, you know what, Jalen Green is my cornerstone piece. That's,
What are you talking about? The Knicks already decided that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's RJ Barrett.
No, nobody.
RJ.
They're ready to ship everybody out.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Is like RJ was in trade talks. I don't think you put your trade talk, like.
Yeah.
Of course, but then we re-signed him too, though. Now, fellas,
You had to. You couldn't take the risk of losing him. Like if you lose RJ Barrett, man, you're like, that's a bad thing. That's a bad thing. That would be
The Knicks
horrible.
did to RJ Barrett what the Celtics did to Jaylen Brown, like literally.
You just have to. You got to take what you're in. I mean, sometimes in life, you just take what you got.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
Yo, I'm looking at their rock. Can you believe Marquise Chris is only 25?
Right.
Yo, this is crazy. But anyway, when I was gonna while I look at the Rockets roster, the Rockets right now to date have 21 people. The Knicks have 13.
Gee.
Why is that? Or 15? Why is that?
That's wild.
Yeah, why is that, man? That's what I'm saying. The Knicks not signing anybody. This whole offseason just has been strange as hell, man.
Right.
This whole offseason has been. What's up, Coach?
Yo.
What's
This
good,
offseason
Coach?
has been strange as
What's good?
I don't
You
think
want to know
Coach.
what's even more stranger, Uncle Freezy? When I seen the Knicks Instagram today, and I see Trevor Keels, they got pictures of Trevor Keels out there lifting weights. I'm like, why is this dude on? Like, what? Like, why?
That's the last thing he needs to be doing.
Not only that, that's the second time the Knicks have been promoting Cam Reddish also.
Yeah, Cam was up there too.
Well,
Cam,
it ain't real weights.
Jalen.
It's good to lift weights, but it ain't like they lifting heavy.
Right.
You know what, Freezy? I think the Knicks went into the offseason thinking these two moves are in the bag for them. That's why now we're looking around like, why are we looking so clumsy? They knew they had Jalen Brunson in the bag. They probably knew that's why he was waiting on this trade. And I was thinking about it. I was like, you know how of an epic failure this was? All we had to hear was Danny Ainge sets his price and he never backs down. And we got Danny Ainge down to 3. He wanted, 6? And then he went down to 4. Now he just wanted 3 unprotected. We got him down. And we still couldn't pull it off.
Yeah.
So that's why I feel like now the roster's in limbo because they was all ready to make this move. And now that this move blew up in their face, now we're scrambling.
Here's the good news. The good news is 2 years ago, the Houston Rockets, we'll just use the Houston Rockets as an example. The Houston Rockets, when they lost James Harden, was like lost.
Yeah.
But and then look, 2 years later, they have a nice fundamental piece to move. So it's like a 2-year thing, but these are big decisions for the Knicks. And if they screw it up, it could set it back 5-7 years. Like it's
I think that's where we are right now, bro.
Yeah.
Nah. Yeah. I disagree. I don't think we're that far back. I just think that the fact that we just didn't develop these young players when we had the opportunity to develop them.
I agree.
When we had the opportunity, had the opportunity to develop them. Now we still standing here with question marks is what's bothering us. And the fact that we couldn't move them or the way we wanted to move them. That's what's bothering us.
Right. So, but that's the reason why I say we are set back because the thing is, you spent the entire offseason chasing Donovan Mitchell,
Right.
and didn't get him when you could have been developing your youth.
Would you have taken
I
Malik
feel-
Monk as a free agent? Is that somebody you would
Yes.
want to?
Yep.
Okay, and
Yep.
and he went to the
but
Kings.
why?
He
But
went to
why
the
take
Kings.
Malik Monk if that's another person that's gonna block a player of your developing?
Another fourth option.
Well, Malik
because
Monk is,
because he offers you a couple of things. He offers you that. Okay. Here's why. He'll be our J.R. Smith.
Mm.
He'll be our J.R. Smith.
2 years
We
playing
weren't
with LeBron.
we weren't successful with the first J.R. Smith.
All right, so Malik Monk comes over here. He comes over
I know what
here.
you mean, though.
We get to the playoffs. He turns up. Then we realize after 2-3 years that Malik Monk has to be moved because he's not the answer. And now he's just been blocking up time for our players to develop.
Malik Monk is who you want Grimes to be. That's the thing is Malik Monk is already shooting 40% in the NBA from three.
Yeah.
But
Is an excellent athlete.
Yeah, well, you definitely need guys like that on your team for sure.
What's what Freezy said? If you look at some Malik Monk highlights, that dude can touch the top of the backboard. Like, it's insane the way that guy can jump.
And
So, I
he
mean,
can get scorching on nights that he gets hot. It don't matter who the defender is.
He's like Buddy Hield, man.
and you know how we know this first.
Cam Reddish could do that too.
He ain't shooting 40% from three, coach.
Cam Reddish ain't getting scorching.
Cam Reddish shot like.
No, I'm saying he can
in
get
his
hot.
first playoff game against the Bucks, and he took 8 threes that game.
And he's a hell of a free throw shooter.
The Kings got Malik Monk for $19 million for 2 years, bro.
Yeah,
2 years for $19 million.
And they already had De'Aaron Fox. That's the Kentucky backcourt. Remember they played in the backcourt together at Kentucky.
Yes, they did. They damn sure did.
Yeah, and Cam is definitely not getting $19 million.
Not for 2 years.
No one's trying to get that. I'm saying for the deal that we have now,
but
give him a run.
Those are the type of players you got to get. Like, it's you once in a while you get a chance to get a spider, but you're gonna that's kind of my point. I guess.
And you have to trust too. Hey, and Sally, what you have to trust too is if you feel like you're a developer in talent and you get a young Malik Monk, you have to have faith that model of player that you were looking for, the 6'3", 6'4" athlete, explosive athlete that can shoot and score. That's what you were looking for in Jaden Ivey, right? That's what you were looking for in Donovan Mitchell, right?
Mm-hmm.
So while you don't have Jaden Ivey or Donovan Mitchell, you probably have like a pathmark version of Donovan Mitchell.
I thought you were gonna say Dollar General, but cool.
I mean,
you have a favor. You have a favor edition of Donovan Mitchell, bro.
Buster Browns.
Yeah, you have a Buster Brown version.
I mean, but besides Obi, I mean, is it Cam Reddish one of the only explosive athletes we got?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, do you guys want to talk about what athletes do we have?
Mitchell, and Mitchell Robinson.
Jericho Sims.
Yeah.
I think we're looking at it from like the guard
and the thing
perspective.
From a guard perspective.
And I'm not trying to, make a case that he should have starter minutes right off the bat, but any significant minutes we haven't seen yet from him. So, I mean, the same crowd that complains of some of the other youth, they don't add him to the mix. Who should get minutes too? I don't understand.
Or do you just cut him and bring in a veteran?
I tell you like this.
Because he in the last year of his deal, right?
Yeah. Well, next year.
He'll get traded if he'll end up getting traded.
I mean, you can do that or use his hunger that he's on the last year of his deal, like he's got to prove something so he can earn money on his next deal.
Yeah,
use him for that.
Where is he gonna get the minutes from, though, Coach?
I tell you like this. My eye is more so on my target. I should say more so is on Quentin Grimes, just for the simple fact that he was supposedly untradeable, and they say supposedly the deal fell apart because of him, or whatever the case may be, from whomever. My thing is I ain't gonna lie to you. When I watched him in the summer league, he did not impress me the way I expected I expected from him.
Who's that?
Quentin Grimes.
And it's
Yeah.
unfair to Quentin Grimes that you feel that way.
Why do you say that?
Because Leon Rose put this out there now that Quentin Grimes was the reason we didn't make this trade. Now we have unreasonable expectations for Quentin Grimes.
Hold on a second. But you missed my whole thing when I said before this, Jay. And the thing is that when I watched him in the summer league, he did not impress me.
He didn't impress me neither. I'm not impressed with Quentin Grimes.
I'm not.
And he's not even a three.
But the point though, but summer league happened before the Donovan Mitchell trade.
Exactly. I was expecting him, you know what I'm saying, to blow out people who are, even though he was a significant backup, but he had more playing time. I was expecting 30-point games out of him.
If you're in the summer league, Corey, it's not a good thing that you're playing the summer league, man.
But my whole thing is that it was put out there that we went balls to the wall to keep Quentin Grimes out of everything.
Right.
So
Defense.
you're going.
No, they just didn't want to add Grimes with RJ. That's what it was.
You know, like now we're going into the season, like, all right, let's see what this kid is all about. And if his talent doesn't match our expectations, you already know how it gets in New York. And that's unfair to Quentin Grimes. He didn't ask for that.
Yeah. I don't play much into that feeling stuff personally. Like,
because they're professional.
I don't really care how you feel.
But the thing is, we don't have depth at the three
at all.
Right. And that's
what I'm saying.
And that's
why I'm saying Cam is kind of important to look at. Like, unless you want to put Fournier on the bench and let him run at three sometimes, but I don't want to do that.
Right, and that's why you need an athletic shooting guard.
I mean, if you guys want to give up Cam, I mean, that's our backup plan. Grimes running the three on the bench, or like you said, bring in somebody.
I pray and I hope we don't regret the day that we let Cam Reddish go and he burns us and we look stupid.
I doubt that, bro. I doubt that.
I get it. And I just pray the day don't happen.
I just think he fits the perfect mold of wait to see to the trade deadline.
Yeah,
guy, like use him for what he is, and
I mean his value has nowhere to go but up, right?
I don't think Tibbs is gonna. Tibbs can't play him though. They have too many dudes in front of him. I mean, I would like to see the kid blossom and develop into a quality NBA player, but he won't be able to do that when Evan Fournier is starting.
I don't think the dudes in front of him are better than him. I've seen Cam lock up Evan Fournier when he was in Orlando. I seen it. They're not better than Cam.
Well,
I mean,
I personally don't think Quentin Grimes is better than Cam. He just fits what the.
I totally agree. I totally agree with that.
He unfortunately, had some unlucky injuries, and he takes he makes some selfish decisions with the ball. Obviously because he's desperate trying to get his whatever. Yeah. But as far as we've talked about this on the panel hundreds of times. The ability is not the issue. We all know his ability.
I don't think the dude's a three. I think he's a two.
Yeah.
I just wish Coach Thibodeau says, "Listen, Cam, I don't like the way you play basketball because throughout high school and college, everything was too easy for you, right? So you take a lot of bad, inefficient shots. Let me help you become a better pro." I wish Tibbs took that route rather than be like, I don't like him. Because if you can turn Cam into the player that fits your mold, you have something that benefits you as a coach because he's very good defensively. And that's something you lack on this team.
Who, Cam Reddish?
Yes.
No, Cam Reddish is not good defensively.
He's good defensively.
No, he's not. He's not good defensively.
I know you're going to pull up your numbers, and I'm telling you, he's good defensively.
Oh man!
I mean, he has the ability to play anybody, to defend any three in the league.
Right.
But it's the willingness in certain spots and the flow of his game. What I think's happened, right, in the past is when he's gotten in, when he was with Atlanta, it's like he knows he's going to have a limited time to get in, and all he does is freak out and try to score as much as he can, and at the hindrance of the rest of his game. You know what I mean? And that's not an excuse. I'm just saying
anybody can pull up defensive numbers, and I get it. To a point, that tells a lot of the truth. But all I know is when I saw Cam Reddish play in the Eastern Conference Finals, and they put him strictly on Chris Middleton, he gave him problems all series long. The whole series.
Mm-hmm.
They went 7 games. He was a big reason why. Not saying that they won because of Cam, but putting Cam, and then they have defensive highlights of him guarding Chris Middleton alone. And
about that, Jado. Peace to the panel.
What's up?
Yo, what up, Dre?
What's up?
About that, Jay. Remember Giannis was out.
Okay, but
the end of that
we're
series,
talking
and Chris Middleton.
Giannis has nothing to do with him guarding Chris Middleton off the picks and one-on-one. All I'm saying is that he can play defense. He can play defense.
He has the physical capabilities, but what he does is he gambles a lot because he's not a very high IQ player. So a lot of times he jumps out of. It's not just on Tibbs. That's just him as a player. You just got
but you can coach him
Tibbs
up.
can't erase
not
all
that
of
good
his
defensively neither.
Tibbs can't erase all of his negativity.
Technically, he's 3 years removed from high school.
RJ's not that good defensively neither. We can coach him up too. Jericho Sims is a defensive player, but guess what? He didn't know how to play NBA defense. They coached him up. You can do that with
Tibbs had a whole training camp. Like he had summer with him. Like it takes time.
You gotta stop acting like Cam is 25. Cam is literally 22, just like RJ. Like he has, we gotta have time.
And what Tibbs does, he strips down players and breaks them down damn near to a molecular level and tries to build them back up.
Yo, somebody got some background noise, man.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Hold on. Oh, that's me. My fault. I forgot to switch. My bad.
Oh, okay.
You know, the NBA is full of, there's a lot of people every year coming into the NBA. And there's not a lot of time for kids to develop, man. That's why they got to go to Europe or they got to go to the G League. Like, you're going to miss out on Jalen Green because you're waiting on Cam Reddish?
Am I better now? Am I clear?
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, let's put up.
But I'm looking at that defensive series, Milwaukee and Atlanta. And the first thing that jumped out at me is the game that Cam guarded Chris Middleton. Middleton had 43 points.
Yeah.
Wow.
Stop
that game without Giannis.
Wow, man! Look, I'll put it on the screen for. I don't want to. All I want to do is. I'm sorry, not 43. He had 32 points. I'm sorry, 32 points.
That third quarter, he was ridiculous.
Oh, jeez, bro.
Coach,
put it up.
I'm not proclaiming he's our answer at defense or anything.
Put it up on the screen. Put it up on the screen and tell me who on the Knicks can do what he did on that series.
While you doing that though, I agree with you, Coach.
We
do need some.
You can't do that a lot. They be like, Uncle Freezy, do some work. Nah, I ain't doing
that. Anyway, no, but I agree with you, Coach. We need longer athletic wings. Because I do not like Grimes playing the 3. It just seems like we're playing a 3-guard offense off the bench, and he's a decent defender, but somebody 6'8", 6'9" catch him, and it's like mouse in the house.
We have the potential to run we can really give the team we're playing a whole different look with our second unit. Like we can be like a Showtime second unit with like Obi and Cam, IQ, Hartenstein, like all of them just like running the court. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Coach,
fast break ball.
You might have one of the best second units in the NBA. To be honest with you,
it's crazy. I know.
We do.
But it's not, that's not, I understand that's a positive, but right? Like,
yeah, no, that helps against mid-level teams, but against good teams, it doesn't help because
that helps cover in the spread by 8. That doesn't,
Oh, wow.
Like that's what it helps. It helps the game not getting too. The second unit's only supposed to stop it from being a blowout. Like they're just there to like quality control, But you might have one of the best second units in the NBA. If you look at just strictly bench role teams, it's pretty impressive. The bench is very impressive. And that's what it is. That's what I saw in the lineup. It's a lot of threes. It's a lot of like guys that are not what Freezy was saying, not superstars, but they're good, solid, fundamental players. And you have a very low ceiling. There's not a big, the ceiling isn't very high, but the floor is pretty high. That makes sense.
Right.
So, but you definitely probably have one of the best second units.
And the thing, it's literally going to take either one of these guys we have, whether it be RJ, Cam, Brunson, whoever, like, if just one of them becomes, like, takes their game to the next level this year, that just fast forwards things, like, tremendously. Because what it does is it creates a situation where the picks we have and the young guys we have, like, we don't have to get as much this time. You know what I mean? Like, instead of having to get two or three guys away, we might be, 1.5 guys away or something. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
It makes them.
I'm just trying to be optimistic, man. I know people, call me a homer, but that's what being a fan is, man. You're supposed to be optimistic about your team. I'm trying to see the silver lining. Because
I don't Freeze. I see what you're doing, Freeze, but that's not what I asked you to do.
Nah, man. Nah.
I said there was a video of him guarding Chris Middleton, and you can see how.
I want to know who was guarding Brooke Lopez. That's who I want to know.
Right, and my point to it, to all this, man, is if we Knicks homers, bro, just say you a homer, man. You know what I'm saying? The whole thing, man, about saying Cam Reddish can lock down 2s and 3s in this league when his defensive rating is atrocious. You know what I'm saying? It just make us look like we homers. And if you were home, just say I like Cam Reddish. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't say he can lock down nobody. I just said he was athletic enough to cover threes in this league.
I said it.
Yeah, me and Coach had this conversation a lot, right? Because what I said was what I said, and then people took what I said out of context. What I said was I said Cam Reddish could be great. I think he has Tracy McGrady potential, but right now he's trash, right? And they hear Tracy McGrady and trash and automatically assume that I hate Cam Reddish. you know what I'm saying?
That's the internet, though, Freeze. You know what I mean? That's
the
internet.
Yeah.
No, that's like arguing with a woman because all she's gonna do is take the hurtful things out of the conversation and not meet the context of what you just said.
Yeah, me and Coach talked about this last week, man. I don't hate Cam Reddish. I like Cam Reddish. As a matter of fact, at the 2021 NBA draft, before we picked Grimes, before Grimes was the pick, I said trade this pick to Atlanta for Cam Reddish. I said it on this show. Silly, you probably wasn't watching that. Coach, you probably wasn't watching that.
I was saying that too, man. I think every single person wanted Cam Reddish at one point. To be yeah, how do you not want him? Like, you want him to be what he's built to be. The dude is like
he's like the brand new shiny Lambo with transmission issues.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, but Lambos are gonna have transmission issues though, bro. It's a finely tuned machine, bro. It's not meant to go over speed bumps in your local shopping center.
Yeah, but the thing is you got to have the right driver. Okay, you can't just have some little new driver drive one of them things, and you got to put the right kind of gas in it.
And you can't just have a Powerball winner just buy it and treat it like a Honda.
Some 6-year-old just got his license.
Yeah.
Especially if they don't have to work in gears.
Look at Kevin Porter Jr. though. Look at Kevin Porter Jr. Like, he had all those problems, and he goes to Houston, and he's in a culture.
He still has those problems,
but he's doing a lot better.
Yeah, but instead of having mental breakdowns,
look at Otto Porter.
It's more like once or twice a year now.
Right.
These young dudes are gonna have like these young dudes are gonna have these things where they they were told their whole life there was one thing, and then they get to a place and they're not that, and they can't handle it.
Right.
That's what Cam Reddish is right now.
Yeah, he's never had a fight for a spot on the court.
It's maturity. And
you heard the first thing he said when he came to New York. I think I'm gonna be a star, and it's like, come on, bro, you gotta rein it in.
I mean, I'm okay. I'm okay with that mindset.
You can't say that though.
You gotta back it up. Why not? I don't mind it.
You say whatever you want to say. Just you make sure you back.
I don't. Yeah, you gotta back that shit up. I mean, back that stuff up. You know what I'm saying?
You look
every bit of it.
Because you gotta back that ass up. Boom, boom, boom.
Watch yourself.
See, Anthony Edwards.
Go ahead, son.
I was just gonna say, Cam Reddish is supposed to be Anthony Edwards. That's who he's supposed to be, and he's turned out.
Yeah.
Like, what do you want him to be? You want him to be a high flying slasher and a corner 3-point shooter.
That's a good comparison.
That's what you want him to be.
Yeah.
And if he's not that, then.
But you know what the difference is with Cam and Anthony Edwards? Anthony Edwards can be the primary ball handler. Cam couldn't be that in Atlanta.
Right.
They had a ball hog, primary ball handler in Trae Young.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then by the time you trade him to the Knicks, they already have a set rotation. You're trying to figure out what Cam is and how he fit. And then he gets hurt.
That's why he need to come off the bench and average 17 and let that just be his team. That's it.
I think Cam need to come off the bench. I think I would love to see Cam be 15.
But think about it.
15,
you say 17 is a lot of points, but when Tibbs put
him
Cam in the game, he had 17 points. When he got the run that he was supposed to get in the game, he had 17.
That's just one game.
But who's
like consistency?
But consistency. When he got the playing time, when he was in the game, he had at least 15 points.
Greeny, what does supposed to get mean? What does supposed to get mean?
I mean,
because I can tell you right now.
Why they trade for him?
Numbers. When I say those numbers, people say like he can't do it. Like when
I asked you a question though. What does supposed to get mean?
Why they trade for him?
He was getting that. It wasn't no supposed to. He was getting the playing time.
You said that.
I said yeah. I said Cam should average like 17 next year.
And then I said when Cam Reddish gets the minutes he's supposed to get, he averaged 17.
Yes. Exactly.
So what is supposed to get? So what is supposed to get me?
We can't tell what Tibbs wants. Think about this. Cam Reddish is the only.
I ain't think about nothing else. I want to think about what is supposed to get me.
I'm about to address your point. If Cam Reddish is the only small forward technically on our team, why is he on the back of the depth chart for small forwards? And if we know he's talented than all the players on the Knicks.
That's because he's hurt. He's been hurt, bro.
You got to give us.
Greeny,
you got to give us
hurt.
a number.
Okay. So what do you do? So if Cam Reddish been hurt, so if Cam Reddish been hurt, what are you gonna do? You're gonna push the dude off the cliff, or you're gonna give him time? Like y'all, like come on.
But Freeze's point is how much time do we need to keep giving this guy?
And that's what I'm saying. If you're gonna push him off the cliff, he hasn't even been on the Knicks for like 45 to 50.
But what I'm saying, like this isn't rhetorical. What did we get him for? Like what did we trade to get him?
A late first rounder.
Okay.
Basically.
No. The question is, what was the purpose of getting Cam Reddish? Is what I felt like Coach was asking.
No. I'm saying I want to know what we actually got for him first. Like I want to know like what we used to get him.
Kevin Knox and a late first rounder.
Okay, so he's worth 2 first rounders. Because Kevin Knox was the first round pick that we made. Okay, so if someone's worth 2 first round picks, and you bring them on your team, don't you think you should see what your first round pick can do? Because essentially that means, and plus he's a first round pick himself. So don't you think you should see what your first round pick can do? Like that's what Greeny means. Like he's supposed to play. What do you mean no? Why not?
You heard what I said? I said no.
All right.
Then tell me why not.
I can argue your point because
what you said.
I gave you my reason why he should play. Now you give me the reason why he shouldn't. Why is that a no?
I thought Greeny was about to say something.
No. I'm quiet. No, I heard him make a point to you, so I'm not gonna jump in. I'm just, you know what I mean?
I'm not trying to speak for you, Green. Is that what you kind of
No,
mean by?
What I was trying to say, yeah, I do kind of mean that. Like, he has to get the playing time first. Like, Cam been hurt when he got here. You know what I mean? The time when he got in the game and he got the time to be in the game when it's crunch time, Cam performed. You feel what I'm saying? Like, he actually had 15 to 16 to 17 points when he got the time to be in the game. So I see it as he just need more time to be, just like dude made the thing. You can't drive no Lamborghini through no supermarket with the speed bumps. You got to put the right gas in it. You got to know how to hit the turns on it. That's how Cam is. You got to ease him into it. You can't just, okay, bro, you can't hit it right now. We just got to ship you off. Like, give him some time. He's still young. He's the same age as RJ.
If they were worried about him, healing up, that's the reason why they didn't put him in. I mean, that's one thing. I can live with that as a coach. I understand how that goes. But if he was healthy, play him. That's my thing.
No.
Like, okay.
No.
Then we just threw away a pick for nothing. Then
this makes
like we always do.
Okay.
All I'm saying, Uncle Freezy, is everybody's on Cam Reddish case, and he hasn't even played half a season for the Knicks yet.
Right. But
give him a chance. Give him a chance.
I agree. You already said that 14 times. You already said that 14 times. I heard you. Here's the thing. You can't just bring in a guy just because he's a first-round pick and then give him the minutes from your existing first-round picks. Where are we supposed to get the minutes from? We supposed to take them from Grimes? Guess what Grimes is? A first-round pick. Who we going to take those minutes from? Obi? Guess what Obi is? A first-round pick.
Well, you just named two positions he doesn't play.
Is Cam Reddish better than Obi and Quentin Grimes?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, no, y'all. Hey, man, y'all want that.
I'm just saying.
I agree with what everybody.
I understand your point, but he doesn't play power forward and he doesn't play shooting guard.
They brought in a guy that nobody on the
you named a power
plays.
forward and a shooting guard.
And
they brought in a guy.
For us, he will. He has to.
All right, Coach. That's my point. They brought in a guy that we didn't have somebody technically on the roster for that spot. That's what I felt. They didn't have. They were trying to maybe look for the Reggie Bullock replacement, and they thought maybe let's take a flyer in Cam.
Correct.
We don't have nobody on that roster that can fill that slot.
You want to know why I think they bought him in?
Trade.
PR
and trade. Okay. All right.
That's all. That's all it was. That was just to make all the fans talk. That's all it was.
Ooh, the Knicks did something.
Here's a new toy. Wait, I'll let you know when you can play with it. Man, the Knicks are a entertainment business, and I think that's like a lot of other teams that run basketball teams. The Knicks run entertainment, man. Like
I think the person who brought him in was Scott Perry.
It's a big business.
I remember Scott Perry. There was options of them trading back, and the options were either go to Garland or the two Atlanta picks. And I know they were targeting Cam, and I know that's a Scott Perry guy. So maybe this was a flyer on Scott Perry's part. Maybe we don't know.
I feel like they did it because the front office knows we have a lot of ham sandwiches, and they're trying to take a high ceiling gamble, hoping this guy will pan out to be what we all think he is. But
PR
is way too much going on for him to figure out.
They had to give the Knicks something to talk about, and it was a fair swap, right? Knox for Red, and it made everybody happy.
I remember. I heard what you said earlier on Knicks Freestyle. I know what you just did.
He's coming after us, Coach.
Hey, Sally. No, so this is what I want to. I actually want Sally to help me.
What's
right,
up?
Sally? This is so let's move on from Cam Reddish because Cam Reddish is a bust, and we don't. What?
He's a bust so far.
So here's
for the moment.
Right.
It's for 3 years. Right. I get it. So so here's the thing, Sully. Why wouldn't the Knicks just take all these? Why wouldn't he take all these young players, all these bus ham sandwiches like Cam and Grimes, package them together and go after Jason Tatum?
Because Boss is not going to give you Jason Tatum's.
Yeah, you ain't gonna get Jason Tatum.
So wait a minute. So y'all telling me Boston would not take all these picks and all these young players for Jason Tatum.
Man, Boston wouldn't even take
let's just go
Leon
for
Rose.
let's go for Jaylen Brown. Why not?
They ain't gonna take them for Jaylen Brown either.
No, listen. Okay, so I knew y'all was gonna hijack it, man. Can y'all just let me finish? I know. Just let me finish this thing with Sally, man. I'm not getting in y'all way. Let's rock, man. But let me finish this thing with Sally, my man Sally. I ain't seen Sally in like 3 days. Sally, why wouldn't you take all these young kids that Knicks fans covet and would die for, and all these 52,000 draft first round picks and trade for Jason Tatum?
Boston Celtics aren't in the business of potential. That's why.
So wait a minute. Are you telling me that the Boston Celtics don't see the value in our young players?
Specifically for Jason Tatum? No. There's nobody's
going to. What about with all these first round picks? What if we offer them 5 first round picks?
Most of them don't work out.
So you're telling me we could trade them 5 young players
and 5 picks? Took a long time for Tatum to work out, man. Took a long time for Tatum to work out. Took a lot of Kobe camps.
So you're telling me that the Celtics wouldn't take Grimes, Quickly, McBride, Obi, Reddish, and 5 unprotected first round picks for Jason Tatum?
I don't think so. It's crazy.
Why is that? Why is that?
They're trying to win the finals, and they're not going to win the finals.
He's their number one.
They're not trading
to find
unknown
stars in this
quantities for
league, and when they have a star, they're not going to just give them up.
Yeah, you know what y'all sound like? Y'all sound like Knicks homers, bro. And y'all sound like Knicks homers. I just offered the Boston Celtics 10 players for 1 guy.
How was that being a homer?
Yeah. No, man. You know, Boston, they're trying to win a chip. You know, our kids are going to be really good in 2 years.
That's not why I'm saying it. You can give them half the team for that deal. I never said that.
To you, Uncle Freezy, if I'm a GM and I know I just got to the finals and a team offers me that, and I know I got to go all the way back to the bottom, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that.
Right.
Wait a minute. So you're saying
I'm right at the franchise. I'm at the finals door. I'm at the door of being a champion.
Greedy, listen to what you're saying. Listen to what you're saying. This is how I know y'all overvalue picks, right? Overvalue your players. You're telling me that 5 active, living, breathing human beings can't make up the impact of 1 Jason Tatum.
Yes,
well,
that's what I'm telling you. If those 5 players was on the team, we're not going to the finals the next year. We're not.
Well, if you can't trade 5 living, breathing human beings for Jason Tatum, why are we overrating them in every conversation we have every night?
Yeah, that's a good point.
We aren't.
I was saying
this guy isn't.
Those picks and players are unknown quantities, and Jason Tatum is an all-NBA player now.
Hold on. Do you think the 76ers would do it for Joel Embiid? Because I think they would.
No, they wouldn't.
I definitely think the 76ers.
No, I think the 76ers might bite on that.
I think they would too.
Yeah, I think Joel Embiid's gone.
Yeah, I think you only get a certain number of years with today's big man.
Right.
And Joel Embiid is about 3 years away from that.
Yep.
Man, look at he's done now.
I agree with that too, bro. Corey, I'm glad you said it. I try to be really nice, not to be overreaching, but I think Joel Embiid he peaked last year. That's my opinion.
I'm gonna say this right now.
He averaged 30 points a game.
Of course. I mean, Shaq could average 30 on the way out.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this. I cannot wait till Mitchell Robinson faces up against Joel Embiid.
Okay.
I cannot wait.
I can't wait to see I can't wait to see Hartenstein against him. Honestly,
me too.
Why do you guys want to see a massacre for?
Joel's gonna
why y'all want to see a puppy playing in the street?
What is wrong with you guys? Oh,
y'all want to watch a puppy play in the street? No, we don't want to see that.
Which one? Both of them or the Mitch? Because I've never seen Hartenstein back down and worry about anybody.
I've seen Mitch until what I'm saying. I'm not gonna, man. I can't include the third party that be on the basketball court. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not gonna include the third party that be on the basketball court.
The refs.
I'm not saying that. I didn't say that.
Them guys that wear stripes that don't
The zebras.
Yeah,
dribble
them
the ball.
Guys that
colorful
work
guys.
at Foot Locker.
Corey,
Guys that work at Foot
don't go
Locker, they're
down
on the
that.
court.
Don't go down that road, Corey. Don't go
Them
down that road,
salespeople,
bro.
them salespeople from Foot Locker. I'm not going to include them, but
No,
I've
I mean,
seen
that's one
Nick
position. We're
Holmes
set at the
together.
5. We're pretty good at the 5 right now.
Yeah.
I'm happy there.
Yeah, so the thing is, I don't think we're set at the other places, man. I think we have too many young players trying to develop and needing minutes. And I think it's time for us to consolidate, man. Just you don't have to like the player that I'm offering, but just at least be open to the idea.
Oh no,
Right?
I'm more than open to the idea.
Okay, Freezy, I got a question though, because you say that. Didn't we attempt consolidating by not drafting this last draft?
Yeah, we did.
So I mean, that's kind of the direction where we were trying to compete according to Louis and Rose.
There's so many
but
teams
you know
moving
what?
faster. So
Yeah.
many teams moving faster than the Knicks.
And it speaks to the caliber of talent in your young core. Because think about this: if you were trying to trade for LeBron James, right, and you're the Utah Jazz, and you offer Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert and Bogey and like some first round picks, man, the Lakers would consider that, right? Wait a minute, you giving me Donovan, Rudy Gobert, Bogey, and some first round picks? Yeah, we'll consider that. What else you got, right? But the Knicks had an offer with Obi Toppin and Quentin Grimes in it for Donovan Mitchell.
Right, and the Knicks fans were saying no.
Yeah, that's too much.
Talking about that,
They barely averaged double digits together in points.
Bro, you talking about that deal? They had a deal with RJ Obi and Mitchell Robinson.
And 3 first.
Bye.
Right.
Like, what?
Right. So
They didn't sign that. The Knicks did their job. The Jazz didn't
But
sign
Greeny,
that.
that's one inefficient 20-point per game scorer who I think is going to be a star, by the way. But all we can do is go by what's on wax today. You know, so all we can go by what these dudes have done now. We can't project in the future, right? But you're talking about a dude in Mitchell Robinson that has averaged 9 points in his career at one time, right? And Obi Toppin. Nobody knows what Obi is. Obi is a jack in the box. You don't even know. You don't know what it is until you crank the thing up and it sprang out the box. You don't know what Obi is. You know what I'm saying? We hope Obi's a star, but
these are the things they asked for. So that's just mind boggling. Like, you asked for these things and we presented it to you.
And the thing is if you come up with this question already before, Freezy, why the hell did we draft Obi Toppin then? Because here's the thing, all these trade scenarios and everyone in the world in basketball land, the Knicks fans and all the media are coming up with trade ideas for Randall.
Right.
Everyone but our front office is coming up with that idea. So when is everyone going to get it through their thick skull? Apparently, Randall's not going anywhere. So we got to make it as good as possible so he can flourish on this team. That's what we got to do it, because they're obviously not looking to trade him. Are they not?
Do you ever look at the C.J. McCollum trade and go, why couldn't the Knicks do that? McCollum, Nance Jr., Tony Snell for Josh Hart, Alexander Walker, and Thomas Storansky.
I like Josh Hart, by the way.
Because they couldn't do that because New Orleans already has 2 max players on their roster.
What I'm saying is,
like, they have a core. Like a real core. Not this fake core that we have.
Okay.
They have a real core.
But this is a trade that Knicks need to. This is like a template of the direction that Knicks need to go.
Right.
You don't got to get
how
Spider.
We gonna get that? Where are we gonna get
how
the
many
Brandon
templates
Ingram and the Zion at? Then?
Can I say something?
Yep.
How many templates have we followed so far? Because we followed a couple of templates and we went left on every single one of them.
That's because the Knicks do always signing players over players. They don't know how to develop players. Just like they will put their faith in a young player and then sign a free agent to play over him.
They got ADHD, bro.
It makes sense. They do it every year. They do it all the time.
They have no attention span. It's crazy.
Hey, Sally, let me ask you this too. Which young core do you prefer, the Knicks, the Portland Trailblazers, or the New Orleans Pelicans?
Pelicans.
The Pelicans. All right.
Yeah,
I knew you was gonna say that because of Zion.
Not even that. Just honestly, it was Herbert Jones.
They got
I
a
think
bunch of
Herbert
3-and-D
Jones is.
wings over there, man.
I think Herbert
and
Jones
yeah.
is Kawhi Leonard potential, not as good, maybe not as good,
Legit
but
6'8", 6'9" dudes.
And Dre, and check this out. So he said Herbert Jones, right?
Mm-hmm.
Guess who the Knicks passed on to take Jokic? They took Jokic in the draft and passed on Herbert Jones.
Oh man.
Man, what do you, man, Freezy, man? Where do you store this information, bro?
I'm a Knicks fan, bro. I'm a the Knicks fan. I'm being murdered by by a million paper cuts. That's what they do to me, bro.
You got to be
every
a
day of my life
to be a Knicks fan. Man.
I do like Anthony Simons though too, but I don't like.
Do you like Shadion Sharp?
I like Sharp.
I don't know too much about him.
I like
nah, because he hasn't played yet.
He could be Cam Reddish for all.
No, exactly. He has not played a lick of basketball.
G League. He's the one that won the G League. Like he was.
Yeah, I think
no.
Because they had a
he went to Kentucky and didn't play.
He didn't.
Exactly.
We could have had Dylan Brooks.
Yeah.
Not a huge fan of him, but he's a really good player.
Yeah,
solid player.
He had that dirty play, man.
I mean,
turned me off.
But talk about value. I mean, second round,
Memphis.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah, and so when you look at New Orleans made a lot of picks that made sense, man. They got Trey Murphy III. They have Brandon Ingram. They have Herbert Jones. They have three dudes. And hey, Coach, you remember when I mentioned that the perfect scenario I think for this Knicks team is a playmaker, 3 wing players, and a rim protector?
Oh yeah.
You remember we talking about that?
Yeah, Freezy. One more thing. They took Dyson Daniels in the draft.
And they took Dyson Daniels.
Yeah, Dyson Daniels, yeah.
Yeah, and see, these teams understand the future of basketball, and right now we're trying to catch up to the present of basketball. We're behind on the present of basketball. Like we don't have 4 guys that can come out and shoot 40% from 3. Teams now, the future of NBA basketball is the reinvention of the big man. In case I hadn't noticed,
the Blazers got Ben McLemore too, and that's a freaking shooter, man.
Yeah,
McLemore, what's he shooting? 37%.
Shooting and like 6'8", 6'9", 6'10" guys that can just switch everything.
Yeah, that have like.
And we literally have like.
They've got ball skills, you know, like.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I think the future of the NBA is going to be a big because the future of the NBA basketball always leans itself to the most rare and elite commodity, right? So give you an example.
Wow, that's interesting.
Coming out of the 80s, there were no lightning fast point guards in the league. So then when you got one, it was a highlight film every night. And then all of a sudden, you saw Tim Hardaway's, Kevin Johnson's, Isaiah Thomas's, all these young blazing fast point guards, because point guards for a long time were like 6'4" dudes that would just
they were backing down at the top of the key.
Like, yeah. And so these lightning quick point guards, you didn't have to wait to call a play. They could just go by their man and score. You know what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden, everybody had lightning quick point guards, so everything was neutralized. So they were like, then people were like, well, if you have an elite wing scorer, if you have a 6'6" guy that it has an explosive first step, you can take advantage of mismatches on the perimeter. Then all of a sudden, everybody had 6'6", 6'7", 6'8" explosive wing guys.
Yeah, everyone was supposed to be the next Michael Jordan.
Hey, Freeze.
Right. Everybody had a Carmelo, a LeBron James, and then all of a sudden, since you had everything, then all of a sudden, since you can't get by the defender, one dude started shooting the 3 over the top, and all of a sudden, the league went that way. The league is too athletic. You can't beat your man off the dribble no more. You know what I'm saying? Just shoot 3s over the top, and then everybody starts shooting 3s, right? But during that time of the shooting the 3, guess what disappeared? the big man that could score down low.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But
Freeze.
then you see these drafts coming up. You see these young kids are bigs that can score down low and shoot the three.
Yeah,
You
and
see
shoot.
cats
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Paolo Banchero.
Because
Chet Holmgren.
that's Dirk Nowitzki.
Right.
Yeah, Dirk
And
changed that.
guess who's going to be the number one pick
Who
in the draft?
coach?
You know who the
Start
number one
that.
pick in the draft is going to be next year?
Yeah. Victor.
Yep.
Victor.
A big, tall guy with skills.
With skills down low and has perimeter offense.
Yeah.
Another European.
And
Right.
defense.
Right. And defense. And guess what the Knicks are going to be looking for? The Knicks are going to be looking for a pick and roll point guard. And some dudes and some dudes. And so the Knicks are
I knew.
Oh
always
man,
the
that's so
Knicks-
classic.
Y'all didn't notice who you setting you up for the fluff?
You know what's funny? We were ahead of the curve with KP, and then
Yeah, you were.
And
You were.
then
Yeah.
and didn't keep him because he said something to hurt somebody's feelings. Oh, boo-hoo. And guess what? That person whose feelings hurt, he also ain't here no more.
Yep.
But a lot of that had to do with his brother too. Now
Yeah, well, his brother.
his
said
brother
some
played
stuff that-
his brother played a
said some
major
stuff
role.
that- yeah, his brother said some stuff that hurt some people's feelings. But now his brother gone, he gone. The people that he disrespected are gone, and the Knicks won 37 games.
hey Freeze. I posted a link in the private chat that kind of highlights this whole conversation that we're having, and it shows like how heights change per position, heights and weights change per position by the decade in the NBA, and it's actually pretty cool. Like it's graphed out and everything from each position, from shooting guard to small forward to center.
Wow, I see
Yeah.
that.
The power
That's
forwards
weird.
have gotten bigger and the centers have gotten smaller.
Yeah,
Probably,
hey,
if
yo,
you look at it.
we need to do a show on this, Dre. Hey, Dre, I'm gonna save this. And maybe we
Yeah.
can do this on a Patreon.
That's good content.
Yeah, because I need to check that out.
I'm not gonna read it.
Yeah, I'm gonna save this, and maybe we can do a
So it doesn't
Patreon
show.
video on this, and that way we can because I think you have to have a closed studio to break that down, bro.
Yep.
But y'all see what I'm getting at, right? Y'all see what I'm getting at, man. My thing
Mhm.
is with the Knicks is every time the league evolves, the Knicks go away from the wave. Like I'll give you an example. The league is centered around bigs or everybody that's able to shoot the three. You know what the Knicks did? They signed a 7-footer that can't shoot outside of 5 feet to a 4-year deal.
Yep.
I mean, you can't make this type of stuff up, bro. In a league where teams have athleticism for days on the wing, we have Evan Fournier and RJ Barrett.
You're so
Timberland
you're
boot.
so right. You're nailing it,
Timberland
man. You're
Right.
nailing it.
And coach, here's the kicker, right?
And somehow we still won 37 games. I don't know how we did it.
Exactly.
You want to know how to top it off, Uncle Freezy? The
Hey.
amount of athletic talent that we have
Oh,
is
yeah.
sitting at the back of the depth
Yes.
Yep.
What's up, coach?
The president
that's
of
what I'm
the
saying.
Hartenstein Hive.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yo,
go ahead, Freeze.
Yo, and nah, man, I'm good. I'm baffled that in an
calling it,
NBA,
dude.
in a league where point guards ISO their man so they can shoot the three, we go sign a point guard in free agency that doesn't really want to shoot the three.
Yep.
But he's elite at shooting the two.
And he's elite at shooting the two in a 3-point league.
You know what
Yeah.
beats a three, Freezy? A guy that shoots 38% from three. A guy that shoots 60% or 70% with 2 twos.
Okay.
That's 4 beats 3. I know that ain't the way the ball they play right now, but the way he plays and how efficient he is at it, I don't mind him doing it, because he does it pretty well.
You're right.
You gotta
Right.
think.
Well, he did that. He did that well. He did that well around teams that can shoot and generate wide open 3-pointers for 5 different guys. But
Right.
on this team, if you leave Hartenstein off the floor and you go and you're trying to trust Randall, now you're only because think about it. He did that with that in that 5-out system. in Dallas, but in New York, the only real shooter he's gonna have on the floor with him is Evan Fournier. Because RJ's not a good shooter, Randall's not a good shooter, and Mitch is a never shooter.
Yeah.
You gotta hope Grimes.
So if Randall gets back to his efficiency, because he's had it in this. Anyone that says he hasn't been efficient in the past is wrong. I'm sorry. Yeah. He's been efficient before.
Not from three consistently.
Yeah,
no, I'm not saying from three. Like the way
consistent. It's not consistent.
The way he shot is through. I'm saying if he gets back to, New Orleans Lakers Randall gameplay. I'm not saying he's got to bang all the time down low all the time, but if he gets to that kind of level of efficiency and gets somewhat of that touch back he had in the playoff year, this is a guaranteed playoff team if he plays like that, along with the way Brunson is and how RJ is going to have the pressure off of him, and he could just play loose.
So
and get his shots.
If you give me that Randall efficiency,
that's a lot of ifs, so Coach.
But is it though? I mean, he's done it before.
Are the Wizards a guaranteed playoff team? But by that logic, the Wizards are locked in. They got Corey Kispert, they got Bradley Beal, they got Monte Morris, they got KP. They got they got shooters galore. They got Kuzma.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's passing. Logic. You got to look at the passing. Like, the Wizards don't have any passers. They have a bunch of shooters, but if you don't have a passer that passes the ball to the open shooter, then you have nothing, right?
I think Monte Morris is going to be a good.
Monte Morris is okay, but he's nothing special. He's nothing special.
He's
okay. He's all right.
Yeah, he's no Isaiah Hartenstein. You tell him.
Right. But Coach, you gotta. This is one thing.
DeLon Wright's not bad.
But the thing is, I mean, I got cut off before I finished my point. The thing is, all the things I was saying there, they're not ifs. It's happened. Or the only if is if we have competent point guard play. Yeah. That's the if.
I think Brunson's going to be competent. Like, he's definitely competent.
But the thing is, Coach, the thing that you're mentioning, the strengths of these guys are actually getting into the lane, and then we have Mitch on the court. And it's like when you mentioned Randall, like going back to New Orleans and the Lakers, he was going downhill those years. It wasn't no mid-range jumpers. It was him going downhill, going right to the rim.
Yeah. Well, that's why I'm saying if
and that's
the Knicks front office is buying into Randall, which they've kind of indicated they have
no choice.
Then Mitch is not the right center for this team.
Yeah,
he isn't.
And that's the conclusion. It's like nothing works when you put Mitch in. The answer. Hartenstein's obviously the answer. But like when you look at Mitch's skill set, he's so limited offensively that nothing else works. Like, it clogs the lane. He has no passing ability. All he is really a screener and a finisher.
Right.
And that doesn't work with the lack of shooting the Knicks have.
I was about to say we need.
Hold on a second. No.
EG, look, Core. Let me Core. I'm gonna let you know about Hartenstein because I know you ready to get on Hart, bro. Hart is the key. I ain't gonna lie, bro. If you take Hartenstein and put him in Mitch's spot, he is going to open up the floor because he is a good passer. He can pass the ball and get really easy buckets for RJ and Julius where they don't have to shoot the ball.
He does hesitate a lot, though.
No look passes.
He does hesitate a lot. He has a lot of hesitation.
Is nice.
Well, because
listen.
He was a young player, so the game is fast for him.
Sometimes when you drop that left shoulder in a fight, you just drop that left shoulder in a fight. You can't think about it. There's certain things in life. There's certain things about a human being's mind that doesn't change. What I saw in a lot of his film was he hesitates sometimes. He gets a little.
That's 100% true. He did hesitate a lot.
The game actually moves too slow for him, and then he's like, "What the hell do I do?" So that could be a big. We don't know how his mental game will be when he's 30 minutes a night. You don't know.
Well, you have to understand. The Clipper minutes were his first real opportunity, like ever in the entire NBA. It was basically like his rookie year, essentially. So it makes sense that he was hesitating a bit because the game was still was super fast for him. Like he reads the game really quickly, but the game was still fast. It was, you need time for a young player to grow, right? And that's why he was really growing.
He just didn't feel confident in taking the wide open 3-shot, or he was hesitant on a couple passes, and I'm like,
well, he didn't have the green light to shoot until like the last 2 weeks of the season,
right?
And in those last
wait a minute, who y'all
12
talking
games,
Hardenstein.
the last 12 games of the season, 60, 50, 90 shooting splits. He was very comfortable.
But now, but you know what I'm saying? You talking about giving him, like, putting him in front of somebody who is definitely an offensive rebounding threat.
Put one of the links up in the private chat.
Isaiah Hardenstein is one of the best offensive rebounding players in the entire NBA.
Not more than Mitchell Robinson, though.
I would say they're about even. The difference between
based
Mitchell
on
Robinson,
based on what?
Based on his G League rebounding numbers. Like I can
come on, man.
Let me explain.
Man, you just lost that argument.
That's such a classic line right there. That was great. Good job, EG.
Yeah. But because he hasn't really had a lot of opportunity. But with the Nuggets, he averaged more offensive rebounds than defensive rebounds. With the
Nuggets G League team?
No. With the Nuggets team, like when he was playing for the Nuggets, he averaged more offensive rebounds than defensive rebounds. He's one of the best offensive rebounders in the NBA. He just hasn't had the opportunities to really show it, especially with the Clippers last season. With the Clippers last season, Luke Kennard is such a bad transitional defensive player that he didn't have the opportunities to go for offensive rebounds very often, where they wanted to get everybody back because Luke Kennard would never get back. Right.
But you're talking about this guy over Mitchell Robinson, right?
Yeah, I would say they're about even. I think.
All right, one of the top 10 shot blockers in the league.
Isaiah Hardenstein is the best shot blocker in the league. It's not even close. He's better than Rudy Gobert. Shot blocker, rim protection.
Wow.
It's not.
If you look at his
the numbers,
analytic numbers.
The only thing that I push back is on the sample size. That's the only thing I push back.
I mean, it's over 1,500 possessions, right? It's a huge sample size, especially like if you look at
a lot of it is
baseball. Like, can you imagine 1,500 possessions in baseball? Like, it's like
we're talking about basketball, bro.
We're talking basketball, but like it's a huge sample size. Like, you can't fake being the best rim protector in basketball that many possessions. You just can't fake that.
Yeah, what is that? Like 15 full games, right?
No.
Yeah, it is because teams that have about 100 possessions.
No, about 80 possessions a game, I think.
No, 80 shots per game. Just because you take 80 shots don't mean you have 80 possessions.
Yeah,
there'll be possessions where you don't take a shot.
Yeah. But every possession you play defense. So,
you got to take into account he's playing against second units. The majority.
He's not. There's a lot of highlights where he's doing this against Rudy Gobert. Like, he's doing this against. He's
Jokic.
Finishing shots against Jokic. He's finishing shots against some of the best rim protectors in the league, Jaren Jackson Jr.
That's fine.
He's dunking over Jaren Jackson Jr.
I'm saying most of his minutes.
He's dunking over LeBron. Like, it's just. In the rotation, you're playing NBA basketball, right? Yes, the majority is against backups, but wait, what do you mean?
No,
I'm not like disregarding him because I think he actually has a ton of talent. Like, he has a high ceiling.
A ton of talent, Dre?
Yeah, actually,
ton of talent.
I think he's very talented.
Wow, we are reaching.
Ooh, we're not reaching enough.
I just think you're uninformed, man. That's all.
I don't think.
Core. I played center in high school, man. I played center, so like I see what he's doing for bro. Yes, Hardenstein is nice. His skill set for a center is nice.
Yeah,
he's nice.
It's gonna be insane. Like, it's gonna be insane.
And the thing is these are the kind of guys that, like him and Brunson and stuff. Like, we're already complaining. Like, there's so many Knicks fans that are complaining about guys that haven't even played yet. Let's embrace these two dudes.
Yeah.
And
no.
You know what I'm saying?
I have not said that I don't embrace these young players. But my point is, but no, I'm not even going to dismiss them neither. But I haven't seen them do anything in the blue and orange. You know what I'm saying? I can care less what they did in Australia, or the G League, or the B League.
But it's about what all I know is what I watched that he's done against NBA players and a lot of NBA talent, and in the first quarter and in the fourth, whatever quarter it is, Like I had the same mindset of you the first day EG came in this chat room and talked about this stuff. I was like, yeah, right, whatever, you know.
Hey,
And I researched it myself, and I went down a rabbit hole and went on YouTube and watched a whole bunch of stuff and looked at analytics on NBA.com.
Hey, EG, I got a question for you.
I got plenty of work to do.
Any question?
By
Yo, I
any
ain't gonna
chance,
lie. Be careful before
were
you
you
ask me.
in Leon Rose's office July 1st with the same presentation?
For real.
You know, actually, funny story.
Yo, Corey.
Funny story.
Yo, Corey. Hold on. Before you say, yo, Corey, if you want to go check out EG's page on Reddit, he got like an Isaiah Hartenstein. He got mad articles. When I checked that there, I was like, oh nah, that is different. Bro.
Yeah,
I've
written over 40 articles on our.
Look at his jersey in the back.
Yeah,
this is
a Nuggets Isaiah Hartenstein jersey. He wore number 25 because number 55 was obviously Mutombo. Hartenstein on the Nuggets had a better defensive rating than Rudy Gobert, playing with 5'10" Facundo Campazzo the majority of the time. Like if you can explain that on the Nuggets
Austin
bench,
Rivers, right? And
no, that was before Austin Rivers got there. But he was playing with Bol. He was playing with RJ Hampton, who was just terrible. Zeke Naji had like a net rating of like -25 without Hartenstein. Like it was just he terrible.
Killed us though. Zeke Naji
Zeke Naji. You know he's a terrible defensive player, but like he can shoot. But essentially speaking, Isaiah Hartenstein was so insane with his defense that he was able to keep the Nuggets afloat just defensively.
How are you saying Zeke Naji is a terrible defensive player?
He's terrible, man.
That's what he came out of Memphis known for.
No, he can't block anything. He's good. He slides his feet well. He's the worst rim, like literally the worst rim protector I've ever seen in my entire life. Like it's so bad. Like you put him in, it's a layup every single time. It's a layup line. It's literally, it was so painful watching him play over Hartenstein at times because he could shoot. So, like, it was just terrible. It was, I don't want to get over it, but I'm over it. But like,
all right, so okay, all right, okay, all right. The Hartenstein thing, I get it. I get it.
Wow.
But here's the thing I pose to you, EG 14,000. Here is my challenge for you to think on the fly and not revert back to notes that you already have. So before you got here, we were talking about the future of the NBA and where offenses are headed, right? And I mentioned how back in the day, teams didn't value small, quick point guards. They valued big point guards.
Yeah.
But when they found out that small point guards can zoom by big point guards and score whenever they wanted to.
Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah, Isaiah Thomas, Kevin Johnson, Tim Hardaway, Terrell Brandon, Mark Price. The list just goes.
Yeah, I would say
Isaiah. Right?
I would say Isaiah Thomas like the original. Like in my mind anyway. I think of Isaiah Thomas as the person that really started that.
Right? Because you never saw Tiny Archibald.
Oh yeah,
right? You know what I'm saying. You don't know like.
But I think winning championships really when you win a championship with a team like did Tiny Archibald win a championship? Did he?
Yes, he did with the Celtics.
The Celtics.
Come on.
Sorry, I don't. My history. It was.
But the point I'm getting at is not them. My point is, listen to me. Let me do the evolution, because what happens is teams then started getting small point guards. Right, small, quick point guards, and then the evolution moved towards 6'6", 6'7" shooting guards, wing players that were explosive and that could score. Right, and then you saw the evolution. You saw it revert back to a golden era of big men. You saw Olajuwon, Sigma, Robinson, Ewing, Shaq. The list just goes on and on, right?
Yeah.
And
Dwight Howard.
Dwight Howard, yeah, all these guys. You saw the evolution, right?
Yeah.
And then you saw a revert to, well, if you can't have all them dudes, the best thing to do is have a big, strong guy that's explosive. And then you saw the LeBron Jameses, the Carmelo Anthonys, the big scoring machines, right? Yeah. But when the NBA evolved into that, smaller guys couldn't get past these long wing defenders and score. So then you started seeing smaller guys that were less athletic shoot over the top of that defense.
I would say,
right?
I would say,
EG, hold on, let me finish. Let me finish. Just chill out.
Yeah.
You got plenty of time, bro. I intentionally went to go get some water so you can rock, so you can do your Hartenstein thing, right? But here's the thing. Teams got guards that could shoot the three right now, right? So I think the evolution of NBA basketball is headed back to these 6'11", 7-foot guys that can dribble, pass, and shoot, like your Evan Mobley type, your Chets. You know what I'm saying? Dare I say, your Isaiah Hartensteins. Yeah, I think this is the new era of NBA basketball. We're right at the cusp, right? I think that's where we are. I think the Bill Russell type center, the Mitchell Robinson type, the ones that don't look to score but want to gobble a whole bunch of rebounds, protect the rim, and just be defensive guys. Yeah, I think those are gonna go away. And here's my proof: late in games during the playoffs this year, you saw teams take out their big and insert a small. And you know who was a victim of that?
Rudy?
Isaiah Hartenstein.
Oh, Isaiah.
Rudy Gobert.
Yeah.
Rudy Gobert, right?
Yeah.
So I think teams are evolving into this taking out a certain type of center. And if you don't have a certain type of center, then you're not going to play that guy late in games because A, they can't hit free throws. B, they can't shoot threes late in games. So when you're down by 2 or 3 possessions and you need a 3-point shot, that big that's protecting the rim is no benefit to you anymore, right? And so I think the evolution is headed to the guy like you mentioned. I think Jokic, Embiid, Hartenstein, all of these dudes that can dribble, pass, and shoot, that do multiple things. I think that's the wave of the future. And the teams that are not looking for that guy right now won't have that guy in 3 or 4 years. I think that's the reason why the Knicks paid this dude so much money to come here, because they're taking a gamble that this guy is going to be in that wave of centers, and the Knicks are going to have him long enough for him to evolve in that guy in blue and orange.
Yeah.
How far ahead of his time was Larry Bird?
Ooh.
Yeah.
I mean,
seriously,
that dude.
What a person that started the era that
he
Freezy
fits the
talked about
prototypical
was
today.
Yeah, I want to add to the evolution thing. I think there are 2 things that make people like evolutionize the game, right? I don't know if that's a word, but revolutionize the game. It's I believe because the NBA is a copycat league, right? Everyone wants to copy another player. I think it's MVPs and championships. So if you win an MVP, people want to copycat you if you were an MVP, most valuable player, and they want to copycat you if you win a championship. I think Dirk and the stretch 4s, like when Dirk, like there wasn't a lot of stretch 4s until Dirk won MVP, and then he won a championship. And now, like literally, if you're not a stretch 4, you're like it's like a liability, right? It's like, oh, you're not a stretch 4, you can't play today, like right? Everybody has to shoot threes now. And then you look at a player like Jokic, and even Giannis, to example, Giannis MVP, championship, and then everything revolutionized around Giannis. Now everyone's looking for the next Giannis, right? In the draft, they're trying to draft young players that like look like Giannis, that have like this athleticism of Giannis, right? Because it's a copycat league. It's a copycat league. And now with Jokic is 2-time MVP. People are going to start looking for passing centers. I think passing at the center position is going to be the next revolution in basketball. Because when you can pass at the center, like the original passing center to me was Magic Johnson. Like when Magic Johnson played,
he was a point guard
in the finals as a rookie, right? He started at center in the finals, right? Because Kareem went down, right? And he dropped 40 points in that center position, and that's how they won the champion. That's how they won the championship when
actually
was a rookie.
Actually, no.
Jokic to Arvydas Sabonis, like he's like an
no. Pause. Nope. You need to go to Bill Walton.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so AZ calls Phoenix Suns on guy. I says I agree about the ebb and flow back to bigs after Embiid, Joker, Aiden is the third best.
No,
the third best center.
Aiden, my God, you
will be
skip
number
that.
one soon.
No. First, okay, I have a beef with Aiden.
Hey, EG, hold on. EG, hold on.
I have a beef.
Okay. hey, Mike, how you doing, man?
How's it going, brother?
Hey, Mike.
Hey, welcome to the panel. You a Knicks fan too, bro?
Yeah, man. I love the Knicks.
Yeah, man. Hey, welcome to the panel.
Thank you, man.
You got here just in time to hear EG blow a gasket.
That was crazy.
Yeah, I got a beef with the thing is with Aiden, he's so he only oh my God, I can't.
Come on, man.
I lost my train of thought. With Aiden, he's only good at one thing, which is scoring, scoring his touch, right? That's the only thing Aiden is good at. Everything else, like defense, shooting, like Hardenstein has more made threes in his career than Aiden, and Hardenstein has barely played. It's just I look at Aiden, and he's the same age as Hardenstein. Hardenstein has better advanced stats in every single category. I think I see a limited player in Aiden. I don't think he's that good. I think the moment he gets more shots and more opportunities, people are going to find out that he's very limited, where he can't pass. You can just double him, and then he'll just turn it over, right? I feel like he's a player that is very limited, and then when you give him more opportunities, he's going to fall. When you give Hardenstein more opportunities, it's going to rise. I believe in 5 years, it's going to be a joke, like comparing Hardenstein to Aiden, because Hardenstein is just better in every aspect of basketball. Hardenstein had a better true shooting percentage than Aiden, which is just unreal for players that don't finish every shot at the rim. So it's just I believe Aiden's very overrated as a player. He got a max contract this year. That should have been Hardenstein's max contract, and you'll see it in a couple years when the contracts come up again. But it's going to be you're going to see it. But anyway, sorry for the rant. Sorry.
No, you good?
Yeah.
No, I mean I'll be honest with you. When I first met you and you gave all that stuff out about him, it was refreshing because of all the mental stuff that was going on and the frustration with what we're doing, and it gives you a little bit of hope for some of the moves, and maybe I would love to think they have guys somewhere, realizing these things too, and hopefully that's what they see, and that's why they made the move they made, and it's not just them getting lucky.
Yeah.
So.
Right.
The same with the Brunson thing. I know it was one of those back channel. We had a relationship, but it just so happens we're lucky that relationship's with a kid that actually can play.
Yeah, Brunson is really good. I really like Brunson. I was actually looking at the stats. Brunson is oddly similar to Steve Nash, in terms of his stats at the same age. I don't know what that means, but his advanced stats are very, very similar to Steve Nash at the same age. Obviously, Steve Nash, it took him a long time to really blossom into what he turned out to be, an MVP level player. But at the same age, they're very similar, Brunson and Nash, which is just insane to me. But which is a little interesting tidbit. I think Brunson has a lot more room to grow than we give him credit for. I really do. I think he has a lot of room. His ceiling is much higher than people think, because people think ceiling has to do with athleticism. It does not. You look at Luka Doncic. Luka Doncic can't jump. He's not very super athletic. He can jump. He can dunk over people at times, but that's not his skill. Ceiling has to do with basketball IQ. Has to do with reading the game and understanding the game, and that defines your ceiling. For example, I look at McGee versus Tim Duncan. Right. If you just look at athleticism, JaVale McGee has a higher ceiling than Tim Duncan, right? Because he can jump over the ceiling, he's amazing. But we all know Tim Duncan is a better player than McGee at every single point because of basketball IQ, because of fundamentals, because of understanding the game on a deeper level. And that's what I believe ceiling is. And when you look at that from that perspective, Jalen Brunson has a much higher ceiling than Knicks fans understand, and a lot of people in the NBA understand. Where I believe he could be a multiple-time All-Star. Like, he can even get up to MVP level, potentially. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I think it's like a 5% chance, maybe a 2% chance. But I think it's possible.
Did you see the shot that Luka hit over Rudy today?
Yeah, I did.
So we got to tone back the that's not athleticism.
well, just the whole argument. The whole argument everyone makes about we don't have any. Let's face it, they're all professional athletes. They're pretty elite athletes as far as compared to the average human being. But compared to their peers, yes, I understand.
Are tennis players elite athletes that don't ever jump? Okay. So jumping jumping is one aspect of athleticism.
Yeah.
It's not
just one.
Just one. So I think a lot of us, and even myself, if they don't have an amazing vertical, they're not a great athlete.
Hand-eye coordination is part of athleticism.
Yeah. Well, the best athletes in the world are baseball players, and anybody that wants to challenge that can certainly do. But the best athletes, they run. They jump, they catch, they
hand-eye coordination.
ride,
Yes,
they swing a bat, they throw a ball. Every player does this. Not every player does that in any other sport.
Well, swing a bat.
That's a reach.
There's nobody. There's no. How many people you ever meet in your life that can hit a fastball off Roger Clemens?
But baseball is an acquired skill. Okay.
There are a lot
when elite athletes that have physical athleticism learn baseball and start baseball from the beginning, and that's the game they play, they're head and shoulders better than most of the guys that play.
Your hand-eye coordination to hit 100-mile-an-hour fastball it's godly.
Yeah, but that doesn't make them an elite physical athlete. Like you could say the same thing for a NASCAR driver.
Hand-eye coordination.
No. I said that they're the only professional athlete that does. They throw, they catch, they run, they jump, they slide, they hit. They do so many different things.
Well, athletic quarterbacks do all those things too in football.
But to help Sully. To help Sully's argument, it's the only sport where if you do something 30% of the time, you're considered a great. Like if you're hitting 300.
No, I'm not doubting the ability it takes to play baseball. I mean, you can say the same thing for golfers.
Well,
I mean, how many people? Only 1% of the world shoots under 100.
Yeah,
on an 18-hole course. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So,
but that's just because everybody can play it. That's just because everybody can go play it, right? So it's like the pool is very large, right? So, and most people can't putt. Most people just can't putt. That's their only problem.
No, I know. I understand your take on the baseball thing, like as far as they're complete, but there's a lot of couch sitting guys that can get on a baseball field and do some things.
Softball field.
That was disgusting what that guy did.
Yeah, I don't even know.
I didn't even address it or want to acknowledge it, honestly.
Yeah,
but
man,
but
and that's like one time that's happened in like 2 years. Man, y'all chill out, bro. It's gonna happen. That's one time. That's a one time in like 2 years, man.
I mean,
there's haters out there.
And honestly, Freezy, for you, the amount of minutes and hours that you're actually on, you probably have essentially 5 to 6 years worth of YouTube content that most people have. You know what I mean? The amount of time you've actually been on, because some people post once a day or once a week. You're on all the time.
Yeah, we are on all the time, man. All I'm saying, man, things like that are just gonna happen, man. It just it just goes to show that a group of people, no matter where you are, can never be safe all the time. You just got to make sure that you're safe. That's why I could notice that thing didn't play for more than a second. I already had my finger on the button.
He was a little weird. As soon as he reached for his phone, I saw you clicking him.
Yeah. So Yeah. So yeah, these things happen. But then again, at the same time, if I just don't allow certain people, you know what I'm saying? I would have never met Coach. I would have never met Selly. EG 14,000. Yep. Corey. Yep. Yep. Because I didn't know EG 14,000 before he came on here. He just showed up backstage.
You're gonna have to have
same thing with Coach.
You're gonna have to have a delay, Freezy, like they do on TV.
You're gonna have to go backstage and then tell them to show their face so you can see what they're doing.
Nah, he showed his face. He showed his face.
Yeah, but he just that dude was like dude was too weird. Like I seen it was just something, man.
He came on like.
Anyway, let's move on. Let's move on.
Yeah, that's just man.
We're giving him more press than he deserves.
Yeah, and then
exactly.
And then plus two, I just want to reiterate and just emphasize to everybody, if I would have never just clicked on sell the next day, you know what I'm saying? Nobody would, man, me and Sally would never have rocked that night. You know what I'm saying? We from day one, day two, we started calling him Sally.
Yeah.
Day two. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so things like that, man. Don't get in an uproar. I apologize for it. It was nothing that I.
That's not your fault.
Yeah,
that's not your fault.
Yeah, that's like the first in like 2 years, and it was like a second. So if you're offended by it, you know what I'm saying. I'm sorry for wanting to develop a neighborhood where people can come and rock in a safe place, and somebody slipped through the cracks.
That's right.
Sorry,
1:30 in the morning.
Got kicked off the block.
Yeah, hey, if we was all chilling on the front porch and the homeboy came up, we would just had to beat him down real quick. You know what I'm saying? that would have been a beat down right there.
Yeah, man. So yeah, that's all it is. Y'all know I don't promote that type of stuff. If y'all know what it is, y'all know I'm actually the opposite way. It's spread love, bro. It's like we like the Grateful Dead, bro. It's not race based, age based, opinion based. You know what I'm saying? Financially based, none of that. It's just people from all walks of life coming together talking about basketball. That's what it is.
Yeah.
And
this
that's
is
what
a great
it is.
community. Freezy, I gotta be honest with you, man. You got a great community, dude. So, you know, I appreciate you doing this, and I appreciate you allowing me to come on. So I know I don't say thanks a lot.
We a lot of times we look for you like, where the hell's Sally at?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and Freezy, I've told you hundreds of, plenty of times off cam. We've talked on the phone. Like, I consider, I don't want to sound all, because I haven't done this on the broadcast before, but I consider you like a friend, like a real friend. Even though I know we met like this.
That's bull. You wouldn't trade me a running back. You wouldn't trade me a running back the other day. You talking about
that's war, baby.
Don't try to soften me up to try to get Lamar Jackson, bro.
I'm harder on my friends, trust me. When that comes to that stuff.
I got Lamar too, Freezy. Hey, pick up Isaiah. Shoot, I can't say it too loud, but pick up Isaiah Likely.
Yeah, I'm looking. I've been doing drop ads. I'm in the process.
Isaiah Likely is going to ball the F out.
Yo,
y'all got punishment letters.
How come I can't add? He a receiver, right?
Tight end.
Okay.
Coastal Carolina, right down there.
On your league, what?
So this is where I'm at a disadvantage.
You were trying to add somebody?
Yeah, I'm trying to add Brian Robinson to IR because he's the dude that got shot.
Yeah.
I'm trying to add him to IR.
I only think you can. I only think you can add someone.
You tell Uncle Freezy the surprise and nah.
Yeah. No, we already know about that. We already.
All right, bad.
Yeah. We just waiting for Coach to get some free time. You know what I'm saying, so that we can do it on the air. But I can't add Brian Robinson to injured reserve, bro.
I think because the season hasn't started yet.
Yeah, my boy.
Whoever's the commissioner needs to make sure they allowed IR. So I know it's a.
I try to put one of mine on.
I think we do have an IR, but I don't think the IR is there so you can pick up an injured guy and just put him on IR. I think it's IRs for someone that you drafted or you put on your team and then became injured.
Yeah, you have to drop. Yeah, it's not a roster spot, so you got to drop a player, pick up Brian Robinson, put Brian Robinson on IR. Now you got an open roster spot. Now you can pick up someone else.
That's what I tried to do, though.
Oh, okay. Well, then
ESPN just don't like me, bro.
I'll look it up after we're done with this tonight.
Hey, Sally, so what happened is I did a audio podcast about Stephen A. Smith calling us soft, and everything I've touched with ESPN on it has been backfiring for me now.
Yeah.
Man,
Stephen A.
I wish it could have been. Matter of fact, I saw that. That was live. I saw you do that live, man. And I appreciate you for that, man.
Yeah, man. I be sticking up for y'all, man. You know how it is. I be sticking up for the Knicks fans, man. You know what I'm saying? And now ESPN won't let me put Brian Robinson on injured reserve.
The thing that drives me crazy about Stephen A. is, I mean, I know he's a legit, Knicks fan and all that stuff, and he loves the Knicks. He's passionate about them and all that. But like he was our inside guy. At the beginning, it was like, all right, man, we got a guy that, that fights for the Knicks and speaks for them. Yeah, he was like one of our guys,
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, it just slowly over time, the whole Skip Bayless crap.
He got Hollywooded up.
Yeah, and
Exactly.
And then they got the Disney people like in his ear, like, oh, you got to be more animated. You got to be more upset when the Knicks don't do something wrong or something, like
you got to show emotion.
Look,
yeah.
Yo, how do you think I feel? And he's from where I'm from.
Hollis?
I'm from Queens. Period. He's from Queens.
Okay. Yeah.
So I look at him as a total buffoon.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Well, he's the epitome of, unfortunately, he's a sellout.
Yeah.
Exactly. Thank you.
The thing is what he actually, which is a shame because what he originally represented was something amazing.
Yeah.
He started off as a young black man. He got into journalism. He became a respected reporter. He
was even a mouthpiece for the players.
He climbed he made it to the top, and then he had a platform to where he could actually do something real with it, and he just pooed all over it. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, the platform that he had when he was making it real, the Stephen A. show before, where you remember he had Allen Iverson. It's just those sort of things don't do the ratings, and he is fueled by how much money he generates because he's basically the guy at ESPN right now, and they want him to be a specific character at all times. So he cannot break character. He has to be this to generate how much he does for, like, how much money he generates for Disney and ESPN. He has to do this. It's like he's forced to, unfortunately.
Yeah. And so all I'm saying is he called our boy soft. And even though I don't agree with everything Leon Rose does, you can't call your people soft, bro. You can't call our people soft. So, but anyway, I want to get to this thing with EG. Yo, I think Hartenstein and players like him are the future of NBA basketball. Yeah. Now, unfortunately, I don't know if Hartenstein is the future of NBA basketball.
It's okay. You don't need to know. It'll happen, whether you believe it or not.
But what I'm saying is
I can't wait to see you during the season, bro.
Yeah. You were talking about Stephen A. Smith. It's going to be so funny watching the national media, like, just figure out, like, just slowly, how to cover him, because he's going to come out of nowhere, and it's going to be like they're going to mispronounce his game, like his name, the first like week of the season.
I want to talk about this guy Hartenstein, whatever his name is. He's playing unbelievable.
And then everyone's going to try to backtrack and like pretend that they were the first on him. Like I already see like Zach Lowe, who's he's seen all the advanced stats. He's made videos about how Hartenstein's the best rim protector in the NBA. Like, it's really funny because Zach Lowe's still calling Hartenstein a backup center, but like he understands all the stats where he's like, don't sleep on Hartenstein, like don't like, because he knows like when it actually happens, like they're going to be like, who was right about this guy, right? And everyone's going to like try to backtrack, and they're going to be like, I called it first. I knew I liked this Hartenstein guy. I said like Bill Simmons is going to start like, oh yeah, I said Hartenstein was, there's going to be a big change of history where people are going to try to pretend that they were on Hartenstein first, right? Oh yeah, I told you Hartenstein was really I liked him with the Clippers, and then they got it. I told him it was a great when when you right now, it's like, no, you didn't. You thought like the Knicks sucked. You gave them like a C+ in the offseason.
Then you know who's going to be called the genius, and then he's going to be called the Don again. Yeah. They're going to say it was all because of Leon Rose's vision.
Yeah. Leon Rose.
Hartenstein.
And Leon Rose is going to get all the credit. It's going to be, Leon Rose. It was all his plan from the beginning.
Is Hartenstein
really was
CAA?
Walt Perriman.
Oh yeah, he is. I think he just joined CAA last season with the Clippers. He joined CAA. I think that's what he joined.
Okay.
But yeah, it's going to be really funny just watching the revised, because it already happened. It happened before with Jokic, where everyone was like, "Oh yeah, I was on Jokic from the beginning," and I remember when Jokic was a rookie, nobody was on Jokic. Nobody knew he was going to be good. Like nobody. It's
a lot
like,
a lot of people on Laurie McCarnan or marketing. A lot of people was on him.
I kind of like Markkanen too. Like I think of him as like a Gallinari type.
You like the idea of him.
He could score. He's a good shooter.
Goes back to it. The 7 foot.
Right.
Spread
he could
the
be
floor.
A starter for you. It worked when he played small forward. It actually worked. Like people think, because you're 7 foot, you can't play small forward. You put him with like big rim protectors next to him, like Mobley and Allen. He could play small forward for you.
But teams don't have that.
Out. Normal teams don't have Mobley and Allen to back you up.
Dude, they can have a tri-tower there.
Do you think they overpaid for Markkanen? Do you think?
I think
it's worth that.
I don't know if I think
he makes 16.
I think he's 16. Like a Gallinari level player, right? So like, is Gallinari worth like 20 million? I think they paid him like 20 million. Is Gallinari worth? Yeah, sure. He's like a solid start. Like that's what I think he is. A solid starter. I think they paid him. Like I think his market value was lower than that. They could have got him for less, but I thought he was a solid. I still think he's a solid player. Just nothing special. For his
age.
For his
like
age
context.
Yeah,
like
for his. I think he's a solid player. He could help. He can help a team, right? He's a 7
foot. How's his 3-point shooting?
Markkanen, amazing. That's his best skill. Is his 3-point shooting.
Okay.
His playmaking, his defense, it all his on-ball defense is not as bad as people think it is. It's really his rim protection. Like you can't play him. He's a 7 footer that can't play center. Like you just can't play him at center. Like he just doesn't work. So and then his passing isn't great either. So it's like it's kind of like he's like a tweener type of thing. So
every time I just want to say, man, I've been thinking like, this dude better not be. I'm saying this Hartenstein kid better not be Raso Nesterovic.
Who?
Oh wow!
Whoa! Let me just look at the stats. Who is this? Who is this?
It's an early 2000s European big that had range, but he was slow-footed, and he always got punked by all-stars.
And Stephen A. Smith, after every Spurs game, would just say, Raso Nesterovic.
I can't. How do you spell that? Wait.
Let Google do the.
And once you add Rasho, Rasho, and nobody else has that name. I don't think.
Yeah, Rasho.
Raso Nesterovic.
Oh man,
just look up. Didn't he have the little stash?
What if Isaiah Hartenstein comes here and turns into Jason Smith?
Jason, I've already
Cole Aldrich or Lou Almond.
So this, yeah.
If you don't recognize those names, it's good because they're terrible basketball.
They're terrible, yeah. This guy actually had a pretty good career, like overall, like 11-year career. Raso Nesterovic. But his Hartenstein has better advanced stats than everything across the board. He's not.
So, in your researching, who is like the next guy under Hartenstein? That's kind of like similar to what he does. Like
Şengün, it has to be Şengün. Like Şengün, like we're looking at Euroball right now. Şengün's balling out. I think he's like fourth. Like goes Jokic, Giannis, Luka, and then it's Şengün's right there. Like Şengün is really, really playing well right now in Eurobasket, and he's only like 19. He just turned 20.
Turned 20,
right?
yeah.
He just turned 20.
How
So
tall is he?
he's only 6'9". He's only about 6'9".
he's small.
He's small, but the thing is, he the way I see it, people think of him as just a center. I think of him as a power forward. Like honestly, I think of him as a power forward, maybe in the modern days.
Because
I think of him as small. But yeah, his passing is unbelievable. Like no look passes behind his head. He really showed, like Jokic really inspired him. You could see it in his game, where I think he had the highest assist percentage for a rookie center in history, passing Jokic. Şengün. So Şengün is like the next guy to really.
And that's on the team. That was on a team with dudes that couldn't shoot.
That couldn't shoot at all. Like oh my god, like
wow,
so bad.
Every other game he'd have a flashy pass.
Yeah, but the thing is, they were playing Wood at center, so he was always off the bench, and then he was in this bench type of thing where he didn't really get the opportunities to show his entire skill set.
And I saw a game where they played Usman Garuba, and Garuba played center, and Şengün was the 4.
Yeah, that was it. Was
and that's odd because Garuba physically is smaller. Than Şengün,
but
right?
He's more athletic and
he's way more.
Şengün is not. Şengün's vertical is very limited.
Yeah, but he's explosive.
He kind of reminds me of a bigger version of what's that guy that played on the Spurs and he played on the Suns, Boris Diaw.
Yeah,
he's like bigger, more talented.
He's like a more talented Boris Diaw, which is I think of him like in like a Marc Gasol, not Marc Gasol, Paul Gasol level player. I think that's what he's going to develop into long term. Şengün is like a Paul Gasol level player of our generation, of the new generation.
On offense, because Paul actually played defense.
Oh no, he plays. Şengün is a very underrated,
but like rim protection wise.
No, Şengün's a very underrated defensive player. Like right now, he's
a shot blocker, bro.
Yeah, he is. He has a very high block percentage.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, really. Like he's very underrated defensively. He's not good now because he's only 19. Like, but he's very underrated defensively. He has more defensive upside than people really understand. Like, because he's really undersized. So people think, oh, if you're undersized, but like some of the best defensive players in history were undersized, and it worked out. Like, so I think he's very underrated defensively. He's just an underrated player in general.
Read the private chat. Freeze. Greeny can't really get in the panel.
That's on Greeny. He got a connection.
Oh,
he got a connection thing.
And like, I mean, who's to say he doesn't have another little bit of, because guys that have the growth gene, like some of these tall guys have.
A lot of
like even Giannis grew a little bit.
Greeny, you got to connect your mic and your camera before you.
Oh yeah, coach. A lot of things, like, for instance, because he's 19, 20. He has like a lot of baby weight on him. Like he's gonna lean out and chisel up. Kind of. You remember what Kevin Love did to his body? Like he had a body.
Yeah. Kevin Love was kind of chubby. Then he got skinny. But I mean, what's crazy is he was a more complete player when he was chubby.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's like all of a sudden he got thin, and
that kind of coincided with him playing with LeBron.
Yeah, like he didn't do some of the things he used to do.
There's no more 30 games if you're thin. Like you're not going to get 30 rebounds. Like I still can't believe. Like didn't he lose that game though? Like 30 points. 30.
I think he had that. No. He did that.
Greeny, if you watch it, bro, you got to connect your camera and your mic. It's not going to allow you to come up here with your device, with your thing not connected, Greeny. Go ahead, John. I'm sorry.
Oh, I think we were talking about Kevin Love. And
what about
Kevin Love dropped 30 and 20?
What's up?
So what do you think of Sabonis? I mean, you don't.
Sabonis is interesting. He's a terrible defensive player. He is what people think Şengün is. Like he like I watched him play. He is a complete sieve. Like there's a reason why you couldn't, like, he would play the 4 with Miles Turner, and it didn't work out. One, because Miles Turner can't really pass the ball, but because there is no rim protection with Sabonis. Like Sabonis is a very, very, very bad defensive player.
But he's a
where
good
like
passer
he's amazing. He's amazing offensively, and he's an all-star offensively. But his defense is so bad it doesn't even out. It doesn't even out. And people like say that the same thing about Jokic. Jokic is actually a really, really high level player when it comes to getting steals, when it comes to rotation, when it comes to like thinking the game, and his rebounding is really, his outlet passing is good. Like Jokic is actually very underrated in different aspects of the game where he makes up for his weaknesses. Sabonis doesn't have that.
Yeah,
Sabonis doesn't have the same steal percentage. He doesn't have the same block. Like he doesn't affect the game in the same way, right?
It's kind of similar the same way Vucevic is.
Yeah, it's like the Vucevic thing.
So,
you know, it's
basically draft a European 5.
No.
Don't
Maybe.
do that.
But you know what it's going to be? I think a lot of the 5s now are going to start modeling the game after Jokic, where it's like, I have the ball, and I think Hardenstein like already did this, where Jokic would hold the ball for a second, so he would get it and he would hold it and then wait for cutters to get open, and then he would find them. And I think that's a very interesting way to play. It's a lot of centers don't do it, and Ty Lue did not like that when Hardenstein did that. He didn't like. There were highlights of where Ty Lue was literally yelling at Hardenstein, "Pass it, give it to him," because he didn't like how Hardenstein would hold the ball and look for cutters. Even though he would look for cutters, it would turn into a layup more often than not, the most efficient shot in basketball. So it was good for the team, but Ty Lue did not want to run that way. But that's not what he was comfortable with as a coach.
Who was the analyst the night when Hartenstein got drafted? What was his name?
It's Franz Fatila or something like
that.
Oh,
yeah.
It's something like that.
It's funny, like the things he said, like because he might be the first guy that he might get credit because of the things he said. Like when he got drafted, he said, "I'm telling you, this guy's he's a special player." He's like, if he waited 1 year to get drafted, he would have been a lottery pick.
Yep.
And blah blah blah. Like he said all these things about him when he got drafted. I remember seeing that draft.
That's the talent Hardenstein had, right?
And it said power forward.
It said he was a power forward in Europe. He played power forward in Europe. Like that was his position. He was not a center in Europe. He was shooting. He was a shooting.
So how big is this kid? 7 foot 250, right?
Which kid?
Hardenstein.
Yeah, 7. He's a legit 7 foot. Like he's legit without shoes. So if you like add the shoes, you can even say 7'1". Obviously, you don't do that, but like you can say 7'1".
Dirk, man. Dirk was 7 foot 245.
Yeah.
Younger Dirk was very mobile. He just got older.
Oh, young Dirk dunked on Paul Pierce. Y'all remember that?
Yeah, he was taking dudes off and everything.
But Dirk wasn't great. Dirk wasn't great because of his his ability to take Paul Pierce off and dunk off. That's not what made Dirk great. It was his skill level, like his ability to see the floor and then like make shots over everybody. Like he was unstoppable, and that's what made him great, right?
Those Tim Duncan battles, man. If you ever watch if you haven't seen the Dirk Tim Duncan battles.
Sally, is Tim Duncan the greatest defender to ever play?
There's an argument for it. There's an argument that Tim Duncan is the best basketball player to ever play.
That's a great thing.
There's an argument about that.
What about Hakeem Olajuwon?
Yeah, but he never won Defensive Player of the Year, but he finished in the top 4 14 years.
Yeah. Yep.
That's
What about Hakeem Olajuwon? I consider him one of the greatest defenders.
Who is the greatest defensive player of all time? Who is the greatest?
Bill Russell.
No, Bill Russell. Bill Russell. Duh. Like, what am I doing?
I would say my only knock on Bill Russell is he played in an era where field goal percentage was not important. He ran up and down the court just throwing the ball at the rim. And if you look at his stats, when you look at his defense stats and defensive metrics, this dude averaged 20-something rebounds a game. You know why? Because people didn't value making baskets like they do now. Every basket.
I don't know. They value making baskets.
Look at the field goal percentages in the 60s versus field goal percentages in the 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010s, and the 2020s.
I actually have a take about this because I think Bill Russell is underrated because we didn't have any advanced stats. Like the fact there's no advanced stats of the 60s, or I think if you look like if they had plus minus stats and they had advanced stats, I think Bill Russell would have ranked better than Will Chamberlain in a lot of categories. I really do. I believe like that's all hypothetical, but I really do believe if they had advanced stats, certain advanced stats would have ranked Bill Russell as a better impact on winning.
And he was undersized compared to all the guys he was playing.
Right?
All the centers.
I got a hot take. I think Draymond Green is a top 5 defender of all time.
No.
I said it's a hot take.
It's a hot take. It's a hot take. I mean, he's up there. He's up there.
I'm like 5, literally 5.
Top 5?
I would say so. So I'm gonna go with Alvin Robertson.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go with Scottie Pippen.
Yep.
Right. You got to go with Pippen. I'm gonna go with Clyde Frazier. And I go with Bill Russell also. And that's it. That's just the top 4.
I think
What about but now Michael Cooper too now.
Michael Cooper was good. Michael Cooper never
You
made
don't put Kawhi
never
up there?
wanted to
Kawhi,
no.
And Dennis Rodman.
Kawhi?
I was gonna say, what about Dennis Rodman? When they saying that he could guard
his defense was good, but that defensive unit was great. Like think about Dennis Rodman and the two teams he played.
I was gonna say, wasn't he nice everywhere he went? In the Pistons and the Bulls and the Spurs, wasn't he nice? Like,
I'm saying, but look at the help he had. Is what I'm saying. You're talking about Jordan and Pippen are two of the greatest defenders of all time.
I mean,
and then you're talking about Joe Dumars, Rick Mahorn.
If you're talking the best defensive player of all, like you have to pick up Ben Wallace, like right, you have to mention him. Right, because 4-time defensive player, he won a championship against Kobe and Shaq, like because of his defensive prowess. 4-time defensive player of the year, like he didn't have any offensive game. Like he's a Hall of Famer just because of his defense. So
wait a minute. So you're saying a championship center made the Hall of Fame because he was a defensive guy and rebounder.
Yeah, and won championship.
And he won a championship, and that's novel. Like that's a novel accomplishment.
Yeah, I mean novel.
No, not really.
I mean that's what.
Then
I think it's big.
No, didn't you just mention Bill Russell?
Yeah, Bill Russell. Yep. I think both of those guys are up there.
Yeah, I mean, Bill Russell was the Ben Wallace before Ben Wallace, bro.
The epitome.
Yeah.
Ben Wallace
that's an archetype. That's an archetype. If you remember cats like Michael Cage, you remember Michael Cage?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Jericho.
And if you ask some of those, if you're an NBA historian, when you see like interviews of all the legendary centers, they would all say how Nate Thurman was a problem.
Nate Thurman was a problem, bro.
He's the first player to ever record a quadruple double.
Yeah, man, Nate Thurman was a problem.
And the second person, Frizzy just mentioned him.
Was it David Robinson? Albert Robertson.
Albert Robertson.
Yeah,
he had 12 blocks, double-digit assists, and obviously points and rebounds.
So this is an interesting stat. Let me just. You guys might like to hear this. So Ben Wallace had 2,137 career blocks. Tim Duncan had 1,000 more.
Yeah.
And 2 more years played.
Well, if you look at defensive rating, I want to say actually David Robinson and
shout out to Mutombo if we're talking about defensive players. Mutombo.
Yeah.
If we're talking
gotta love Mutombo, man.
I don't, man. No.
He was a highlight defender.
I liked him as a player, man.
Because if you say Mutombo, then you gotta start adding dudes like Rudy Gobert and Mark Eaton. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Yeah, I remember.
Mutombo's a Hall of Famer. Like Rudy Gobert. We don't know.
No, but I'm talking about the elite of the elite, not just a.
No.
Duncan had 100 less blocks than him.
Do we consider Duncan a center or a power forward?
He's a power forward.
He's
100% power forward. He's a power forward. I don't care what anyone says.
It's okay. So if you list him at power forward, I think you have to list him in the GOAT conversation.
He's a center that plays power forward.
He's the greatest power forward of all time.
He's a center that played power forward. He was drafted as a center. He was drafted as a center. Yeah, he was drafted as a center.
Okay.
At Wake Forest, he was a center at Wake Forest.
How you going to draft Tim Duncan as a
There was
center?
no way that
You had the Admiral.
you had the Admiral there.
No.
What do you mean? He was drafted as a center. What?
No, he was not drafted as a center.
Yes, he was.
Yes, he really was.
No, this dude was a center at Wake Forest. I saw him play at Wake Forest, bro. You know what I'm saying? I know who Tim Duncan is. I live in the South. I know who Tim Duncan is. I watch his college games.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is if you're San Antonio and you have David Robinson in his prime, you don't draft a dude to play the same position as the greatest player in your team's
If
history.
it's Tim Duncan, you do. You have to.
No, you don't. You draft him to play power forward.
Tiago Splitter started at center, I believe, for one of the championship Spurs roster.
And Tim Duncan played power forward next to Tiago Splitter. Yep, I remember that.
Yeah.
Would you say the Spurs are one of the most successful drafting teams, especially over the last?
I would say so. Especially with
just the amount of I know they had a lot of misses. Don't get me wrong, but since
drafted DeJounte Murray. I mean,
25, 30 years worth their last 25 years of picks. They've had a lot of hits.
I don't agree with trading young players for a rebuild. Like if you're rebuilding and you have a player under 25, one of the best young players, I don't believe in trading that player away. Like unless your rebuild is like 10 years away, I don't agree with trading I don't know. How do I say it? I believe a rebuild should take 5 years, right? If a player is under 25 years old, that player is still on the timeline for a rebuild, right? So you can rebuild with a star, in my opinion, and then you could just draft really well. Because
you say that because the Nuggets get lucky, bro. You say that because the Nuggets get lucky. You know what I'm saying?
They didn't get lucky. They traded the 13th pick for Trey Lott. Like they almost got lucky.
Right.
If they weren't stupid.
But you say that at the same time you watch the Detroit Pistons take a dude named Darko Milicic when they should have taken Carmelo Anthony.
God.
And to this day, Darko Milicic would have been a stain on the Denver Nuggets draft block. Right? Am I lying? Am I making this up?
Nope.
Yeah, well,
That was a gift right there, man. You could clip that.
Yeah, and here's the thing too. The Denver Nuggets also acquired dudes like Lafayette Leva.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Who was a triple-double machine before people knew what triple-double was.
Andre Miller.
Right.
One of the top 10 all-time in assists. Like Andre Miller was amazing.
Terry Cummings.
Underrated. Yep.
Terry Cummings, Alex English, bro. Remember, y'all got him from the Bucks for nothing.
Walter Davis.
Yeah.
Freeze, I got a question.
Queens in the building.
Freeze, I got a question. Who do you think is the most versatile defender of all time?
Of all time?
Yes, most versatile of all time.
Tim
Duncan.
Giannis? No.
Tim Duncan.
You said power forward.
Isaiah Hardenstein.
No. I said versatile defender.
In 5 years.
Oh, you said
what? That can cover the perimeter and the post. You mean that versatile?
Isaiah Hardenstein was top 5 in the rated as the most versatile player centers in the league this year.
But we're talking about
all time.
We're talking about a 50 of 5 year players. You got to have a sample size.
Yeah.
Scottie Pippen.
It has to be Kawhi, right? Kawhi.
No.
Nah, man, it's Draymond, bro. It's Draymond. I promise. It's Draymond. Bro,
Draymond ain't guarding Shaq,
Did we just watch the whole playoff? They had him going to war against Jokic, and then they decided to put him on.
Jokic had nobody.
No. He
as far as versatility,
you would not put him on.
I'm going Giannis.
Dennis Rodman can cover every position on the court.
Hold on.
Yes.
Hold on. Not finished.
Yeah.
There's very few guys in the league that you would put on Jokic and then turn around and ask him to guard Jaylen Brown in the NBA Finals, and lock him up very well.
Jaylen Brown.
He had Jaylen Brown in jail.
I don't know. I would rather give the nod to Gary Payton.
Versatile
yeah.
as a guard.
What?
I mean, of course, but I'm saying
No. So versatility
big.
doesn't mean just positional flexibility, because there are different archetypes within a position. You got your big, tall point guards, Magic Johnson, and then you have your little short jitterbugs, Isaiah Thomas. Gary Payton can guard both.
He did.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, that's why I say Scotty, because Scotty could guard your slick shooters. Scotty could guard your slick shooters like Chris Mullin and Reggie Miller, and then he could guard the bowling balls like Drexler and Mitch Richmond.
Yeah.
I mean, he was guarding MJ in the
John
finals.
Stockton had 3,200 steals.
Yeah.
The passing lane king. He's like him. He's a passing lane.
Well, he's. I mean, he gets a lot of credit for being a great point guard, but that dude's underrated as heck, man.
Yeah.
I think that dude is the toughest. I think, and I know it's gonna sound crazy, but I think he is the toughest NBA player, pound for pound, to ever play in the NBA.
What about Allen Iverson?
The toughest. Now, Allen Iverson might be the most durable, right? But I'm talking about the toughest. I'm talking about get elbowed in the face coming around the screen, fall to the floor, get helped up, and then look at the guy. Okay, I got you. Okay. Allen Iverson.
Isn't Walt Clyde like known for that? Like, and giving it back to you on offense? Walt Clyde? Yeah, Clyde. Yeah.
Now, Clyde Frazier to me was the most physical. Clyde Frazier and Alvin Robertson were the most physically gifted defenders. Like, you couldn't shake them. Like, they were like locked down. They like you were on Frazier Island, so to speak, with Clyde Frazier. Clyde Frazier was like Darrell Revis type defender, like Maurice Cheeks. You know what I'm saying? Type defender, bro. But if you're talking about like, types of defenders, like for instance, that a great team defender, if you just start like talking about a bunch of dudes that play a great team defense, then you can look at teams like those Chicago Bulls teams that had, think about this, they had Jordan, Pippen, and Rodman together.
Ooh.
On a string.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
3 years.
And Ron Harper.
Yeah, and Ron Harper. That's why you could walk Steve Kerr out there.
Yeah. There were people to cover for him. Yeah.
And that lineup had no shot blocking. Think about that. Those Bulls teams had no shot blocking, bro.
Do you think they beat the Warriors, Freezy? Do you think they beat the Warrior dynasty with KD?
Who?
The 95 Bulls.
With KD healthy?
With KD too. That run. I want Freezy's answer because you watched that live, bro. Like I was still young. You were an adult watching that. You know what I mean? Like
right.
I would
say that Bulls team, that 72-10 Bulls team is not a top 3 great team of all time. Okay. Right. And I'm not disrespecting the Bulls. I'm just saying that the 72 Lakers, the team that went on that 32 game win streak, bro, get out of here. They were look. They were, and I know the Warriors. I think the Warriors broke that streak too, right? I think the Warriors broke that record or something.
No, they didn't, but they came close.
Oh, they came close to it or whatever. But man, I'm saying that 72 Lakers team. The 2 greatest teams that I believe that have ever played are the 1970 New York Knicks. The most unselfish team you ever saw in your life, bro. All these things that you ask for teams to do.
Yeah.
All these things, like you ask teams to, hey, share the ball, screen for each other, be there for the Knicks. That 70s team did that, right? But I don't think they're the best. I think the best team to ever play, right? And I know I said the 72 Lakers, but don't sleep on the 1986 Boston Celtics.
I was going to ask you that.
They lost some games because they were resting players. Because by that time they had Kevin McHale had a broken foot. Bill Walton was they game managed Bill Walton, but they had Jim Paxson, they had Jerry Seasting, they had they had
Maxwell,
Cornbread,
Cornbread, Maxwell. They had Dennis Johnson, who won a championship in Seattle. They had Robert Parrish, who was a young budding big in Golden State, and they traded for that 86 Celtics team. I don't know if they're the best. I don't know if they're the best, but what I will say is the 73-9 Golden State Warriors was one of the most beautiful things to ever watch because they played for each other. And how they embrace Steph, and how when in clutch moments, Steph would cede the leadership mantle to Game 6 Clay. Yeah, remember that? Remember like when you get to Game 6, if you got to a Game 6, Clay is like, I got it from here. You know what I'm saying? It's like little things like that. Like that's that dude's nickname. The dude's nickname is Game 6 Clay. You know what I'm saying? But if you asking me, do the Bulls beat that Warriors team in one game? I say either team could beat either. In a 7-game series, though, I have to go with Michael Jordan because I just think Jordan's the GOAT. Right, but if you're talking about the greatest team, the most underrated, the greatest team of all time, bro.
Right,
man, Larry Bird got to be the baddest. Man, listen, man, I watched the Knicks one night, triple team Larry Bird, and they still couldn't guard him. I saw the Knicks triple team Larry Bird, and I saw two dudes turn around in a circle looking for Larry Bird. He was in the corner wide open for three. Bro, Larry Bird, somebody asked me, who would you rather trash talk? Would you rather trash talk Michael Jordan, who's down by 10, or trash talk Larry Bird, who's up by 10? And I was like, bro. Trash talking Mike, and he down by 10 is a death sentence, right? Right. But trash talking Larry Bird when he is up by 10, and you just trying to play mind games with Larry Bird, that's an extinction level event, bro. I saw one night Larry Bird was so hot against the Atlanta Hawks that the Atlanta Hawks bench was laughing at the starters because they couldn't stop Larry Bird. Mike Fratello fined like 7 dudes on the Hawks that night.
I saw he dropped 40 with just his left hand. Just because it felt like it.
Larry Bird, no lie, Larry Bird could have had a quadruple double in the game, right? He could have had a quadruple double. And so Casey Jones was like, yo, Larry, you want to go back out there, man, and see if you can get this. Because I think he had the points, he had the assists, and he had the steals. He didn't have the rebounds. And so it was like the easiest thing to go get. Just go out there and just run around, grab a rebound, and then come out. And so Larry Bird looks at Casey Jones like, yeah, no, don't you think they had enough? Guess when they took Larry Bird out the game? 2 minutes, 2 minutes to go in the third quarter.
Ridiculous.
Larry Bird is like the baddest dude. I know we talk about the GOAT conversation, bro. Larry Bird, man, if y'all are basketball fans, if Larry Bird is not in y'all top 5 of greatest players to ever breathe breath,
you're a hater.
Then that list you got ain't nothing but a bunch of names.
Exactly.
You just got a bunch of names. It's not even a list.
How much do you think Jordan learned from playing against Bird as a young player versus when he went up? Because he had a lot of the same game Bird, did with that mid-range jump shots, the post fades. But that's what I always wonder is how much did Jordan take from Bird?
Man, I think he took everything from Bird, bro.
Yeah.
I think he took everything from Larry Bird, and I think he gleaned a lot from Magic Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And the thing I think he gleaned from Magic Johnson is nothing starts without defense. Right. And I'm not saying that Magic Johnson was a great defender, but you couldn't get out and run. You couldn't be Showtime until you got to stop. You make them miss, we grab the rebound, and we haul an ass the other way to try to get a dunk, right? And so, because Jordan's early years, Jordan was a scoring machine, but they wasn't stopping nobody.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Jordan, Orlando, Woolridge, all of them, they weren't, man. But bro, Larry Bird, on the other hand, I hate to say that Larry Bird is not a top 3 player of all time, but y'all know how this works.
Yeah.
The older you get, the more players play the game, the more people elevate themselves into GOAT status.
Yep.
It's just what it is. Because I don't know if Lee is old enough or not, but when we first started watching basketball, bro, it was only one GOAT or two GOAT or one GOAT. That was Wilt Chamberlain. Wilt Chamberlain was the GOAT. And then as time went on, then Kareem got into that GOAT status. And then Dr. J, and then George Gervin and David Thompson. But then as time went on, people started forgetting about Dr. J's and George Gervin's because a dude that wore the red and black 23 could jump from the free throw line. And
Freeze, I got a question. Freeze, I got a question. What was the general consensus about Kareem? Like after I feel like people put him in the GOAT conversation, like way up higher after he retired, like many years after. Because I was watching an interview of Wilt Chamberlain with him and what's his name, with him and the Celtics center Bill Russell, and like they weren't even putting Kareem in their top 5.
Yeah, because Kareem disrespected them. Kareem ushered them out the game.
He destroyed them.
Right. It's like Olajuwon, Pat Ewing, and David Robinson don't talk much about Shaq. You know why? Because Shaq ushered them out the game.
Pat always had something to say about Shaq.
Yeah,
and the thing is, the reason why Kareem, he didn't have a very good. He wasn't approachable. The media. He didn't have a good relationship with the media. He was very, when he started doing the whole. I hate to use the word, but he had that militant attitude, he was
an activist, and
he was an activist.
Exactly.
At the time, society needed activists, though.
Yeah, he was the opposite of Wilt too. So
yeah, he was a complete.
Exactly, and he was, and his teammates feared him. Everybody was like,
But think about this. Think about this. The dude won 6 MVPs in like a 12-year stretch. Just think about a dude winning MVP every other year for like 12 years.
Yeah.
That's crazy, right?
The closest thing we could think of is like LeBron, and he hasn't won one in like 10 years.
And like in a minute, right?
And the thing is, who's had the dominance at every level?
From high school to college.
His college run is just ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. I think
phenomenal.
The only person I think that would have been better than Cap is Bill Walton, but Bill Walton got hurt so often, so early that it derailed his
legacy
development.
Yeah. And Kareem and Bill Walton were coached by the same coach, John Wooden. John Wooden.
Yeah.
Make every day your masterpiece.
Well, what's crazy is that story about the old, because back when Kareem joined UCLA, in college they used to have the freshman team.
Yeah.
And freshmen weren't allowed to play. So the freshman team who had him and what's his name? He became an actor later. I can't believe his name.
Michael Warren.
Yeah. He so basically the freshman, UCLA was the national champion, and the freshman team beat them in scrimmages at practice.
Yeah.
They were the best team in college in the nation, but they weren't even the best team on campus. That's how good Kareem was.
Yeah. And just one thing about Larry Bird too, just to wrap up with Larry Bird. So over the years, Larry Bird played with a lot of different guys, right? At one point, Larry Bird could have been playing with Reggie Lewis and Len Bias, right? Right. Both of those dudes passed away.
God bless the dead.
Yeah, man. Yeah, think about the last stanza of Larry Bird's career with back injuries, right? If Larry Bird didn't have these devastating back injuries, and if like say if things had just stayed on par, just above board, like no back injuries, no ankle injuries. Their young core, 2 people in their young core don't pass away. Man, Larry Bird's numbers would be so far off the meter that we would be talking about him like Jordan, right? But it didn't happen that way, right? Larry Bird, legit towards the end of his career, was so banged up because nobody respected him. People got tired of you get tired of a dude telling you that I'm gonna knock down this 23-footer in your face and your coach gonna sub you out.
X-Man did that to Xavier McDaniel.
Yeah.
He poured it to the floor and said, I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna score right here at this spot. And you didn't do nothing about it. And he did it.
And he did it.
And he did it to Chuck Person.
And he did it to Kelly Tripucka. Yeah. He was like, I heard, and no lie, hand to the man. This is a true story. True story, hand to the man. Larry Bird was like, I know y'all ain't got a white boy guarding me.
Yeah.
This is what he told Kelly Tripucka. Yeah. Hand to the man. It's a true story, right? He was like, he looked at Chuck Daly like, really? Y'all got Kelly Tripucka? And me and Kelly Tripucka from the same place, by the way. I like Kelly. He was a good dude, right? Right. Kelly Tripucka never told me the story. I heard this story from someone else. He looked at Kelly Tripucka and was like, I'm gonna make the coach sub you out of this game, and he's not gonna put you back in. Everybody laugh. Ah! Yo, Larry Bird goes off for like 17 straight points. Chuck Daly looks at Kelly Tripucka like, he put Kelly Tripucka on the bench, bro.
Yeah.
And Kelly Tripucka didn't go back in the game.
Freezy, you gotta explain to him who Kelly Tripucka. Like, he really was a solid scoring. He was a solid wing.
I think he averaged 20 a couple of years, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yes.
He would remind you of a.
He's a 2-time All-Star. All-Star.
In today's game, he would probably remind you of a. Not Wally Zerbiak. That's doing him dirty. I would say, I'm trying to think of somebody like Kelly Tripucka was kind of like a maybe Brandon Ingram like player. You know what I'm saying? Where he could score a lot. About that 6'8", 6'7", kind of skinny. How tall was Kelly Tripucka? Like 6'6"?
6'5", 6'5".
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably 6'5" closer.
Yeah. And this dude could flat out score, man.
Yeah.
And Larry Bird just took him to the woodshed, bro.
26 points per game in his prime. On his best season.
With the Pistons. What year is that? 80? Yeah. That's 82.
82, 83, and then 21 points per game.
And then they put him on
about this guy.
And then he was on the expansion Hornets.
Yep.
When the Hornets became an expansion team.
The reason I know about Kelly Tripucka is because like in the mid 2000s.
You guys don't understand what Freezy and I, probably Mr. Lee, we've lived through all this stuff. Like, we've seen so many things, man, with these players.
Yeah, I like hearing firsthand. Like, I like hearing, we all can watch YouTube, right? But it's different when, like, I remember being like 12 years old watching Jordan.
Right.
Wow. Yeah, it doesn't seem real. Like when you watch it in the context of like the highlights and all the stories, it's glamorized.
And the stuff behind the scenes too, Coach. Because you remember, like, say for instance, if you remember when the rumor about Michael Jordan coming out of retirement, remember that?
Oh,
the rumor Mike is coming out, and so it was like a whisper. It's like a whisper on the leaves or whatever, and you couldn't believe the story because during that era, that was beyond the legend stage. Like y'all remember when you could tell legends, urban legends or whatever, and nobody could prove it, so it was true. But that was but when Jordan,
the New Jersey Devil up there,
yeah, right, like Bo Jackson jumping a 50-foot ditch.
Yeah,
you remember that? Yeah. So it's like the urban legends, like when I think I heard somebody say Terry Bradshaw threw a football 100 yards in the air. I was like, what? That is crazy. But you couldn't prove it because you couldn't prove it was a lie because you never saw him throw a football 100 yards or try it. But when Jordan was coming back, it was like whispers. And the first people that knew was Nike. Like he told Nike that he was coming back. And so Nike went through the process of making some shoes so that he could wear just for his comeback. Right. And so all of a sudden you see Jordan, the new Jordans popping up in stores. And you're like, new Jordans? Because at the time, Grant Hill had Felines, and Jerry Stackhouse had Felines that were outselling all other shoe brands, right?
Yeah,
Feli was
I had
killing.
the Stackhouses.
You remember those, bro?
Yeah, I had them. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I had those and the Pippins. The Pippin joints were fire
and
back.
The Pippins, yes.
Those are fire back in the day.
So you remember? So the whisper was on the wind, like Jordan might be coming back, and you telling your homeboy, like, no, Jordan can't come back. The Knicks got to win a championship this year. He can't come back. and so then it happens. Jordan comes back. Yeah, you remember that the whole thing.
Morris Blackman.
Yeah, it's like it's now you don't have the build up. You don't have the dramatic things like for instance, you don't have is Larry Bird going to play tonight? He injured his back in Washington, or I'm sorry, he injured his back in Baltimore, and is he gonna? You know what I'm saying?
About
everything was a build up. So like
all word
when
of
you
mouth.
like when you bought your tickets, to see the Knicks versus Celtics, he was like, is he gonna play? And then you see the white Celtics jerseys, where there's white Celtics warm ups with the things, and then you see the green panel on the back with Bird on it, and you're like, yeah, he's playing tonight. And then you realize, he's playing tonight, and your team gonna get their ass kicked. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man.
You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing with the Denver Nuggets. Like teams like the Denver Nuggets, bro. We didn't get to see them over here, right? But we would hear whispers about this dude named Alex English. He's unstoppable, bro. You can't stop him. Mm-hmm. And then you go to the Garden because they're the cheapest tickets because the Nuggets suck. We suck. The Nuggets suck. We suck. But at the same time, you could go and legit watch the Knicks, say Alex English versus Bernard King. And watch these two Bulls just go at it. One dude finished with 39. The other one finished with 44, but he lost. And at the end of the game, they don't even shake hands or nothing. They look at each other like, you got me this time, but I'm going to get you next time, chump.
What chalk it up there? I'm coming to see you.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So these are that's why I'm saying, man, the things about cats like Larry Bird, the dudes like Dominique Wilkins, I think these dudes are lost to history because as history goes on, in this highlight era, quick clips, you can just pick up your phone and just look at whatever, and
it just makes everything seem normal and numbed and dumbed down.
Yeah.
And back then there was an aura, there was a mysticism behind the player because you really didn't know them. And a lot of times now, when you know players, you see that they're actually not really cool people. They're terrible people sometimes.
Yeah.
And back then you only knew them for being the player.
Right. I got to set by courtside one time. By courtside. I'm not saying that I was courtside. I think I got to set by courtside. I think I was like 6 rows up, and you can hear Larry Bird like just talking trash to these dudes. Right. I mean, bro, it's like okay.
And you want to talk about circle back around to not being a quote unquote athlete. You know what I'm saying? Like he wasn't considered an athlete,
Right.
I was actually in the crowd when Westbrook got into a fight with a kid. So that's
wow.
Yeah, I was got really good seats, like right almost courtside. And it was really funny. I was like right behind the kid. It's like Westbrook was like, it was funny. But yeah, in Denver. Anyway, that reminded me of that story. But because it's different now. Like before, it was like Larry Bird trash talking. Now it's like Westbrook like hitting like
right. Yeah, what are you doing?
Bird's the one that started the whole shoot and then look away.
Yep.
And don't even look at the shot. he did. That's like what Corey was saying about the Chuck Person. That was the Chuck Person thing.
Yep.
Because back they used to call Chuck Person the rifleman, right?
Yeah.
So he said, they were interviewing him. And he said, "Yeah, we're gonna go bird hunting." So it was like right around like Christmas time or something. And Larry Bird, he took the shot. And he turned around and looked at Chuck Person. He said, "Merry effing Christmas." Right? And didn't even look at the shot, and the thing went boop, went right in.
Yeah.
And what's so crazy
back then, man?
But what's crazy? Guess who was sitting Guess who was the rookie on that bench? Reggie Miller.
Yeah, I remember when Reggie Miller was.
You think he was skinny when you saw him play? He was that freshman year. I mean, that rookie year, he was skinny, boy.
And you know what? And you know what too? What people don't remember is that when the Indiana Pacers selected Reggie Miller, they were ready to burn down the thing because they wanted the Indiana point guard Damon. What was the Indiana point guard coach? You remember the coach from Indiana, the dude? He was the best high school player in the state of Indiana, and then he played for Indiana.
Damon Bailey.
Yeah, they wanted.
Wasn't that it, right? Damon Bailey.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, they were calling Reggie Miller all types of Cheryl Miller and all kinds of they were calling him Hollywood and all types of stuff, bro. They wanted Damon Bailey so bad, and then
he was like Mac McClung back then.
basically.
Yeah.
Wow. That's
hey, Lee, you remember that? You remember that, right?
Yep.
They did not want Reggie Miller, bro, because the rumor came out like 2 days before. Like, the Pacers might not take Reggie Miller. They might take Damon Bailey. And people were just up in arms, had picket signs, walking in front of their stadium, talking about get Damon Bailey. Bro, the history of basketball is bananas, bro.
Crazy.
They were saying we'd rather have his sister.
Yeah, they were calling him
Cheryl. Because I don't know if y'all know about Cheryl Miller. Yeah, she scored 100 points in high school. Reggie Miller's sister.
And she was an Olympian. She was an American hero. Remember, she did her thing in the '84 Olympics, and Reggie Miller got drafted 3 years later.
Not only that, but she was big time at USC. Big time. Her with and what's the name of those two twins she played with? Oh my God.
Yeah.
She's like the Michael Jordan of women's basketball. Really.
Matter of fact, one of them is what's called his mom.
JaVale McGee's mom?
Yep. The McGee sisters. Yep.
Yeah.
The McGee sisters. Yep.
Yeah. What's up, Dre?
I had a question. Do you guys actually have a different perspective? I mean, let me phrase it. Do you guys understand? Do you feel you understand the game at a different level now than you did when you were younger?
Of course.
Okay,
yeah,
so
I mean, and I'm not trying to make myself sound like I know more than someone that you guys are coming up or anything like that. Like I personally, I mean, there's some old hats like Freezy and some other guys that come on this panel. Y'all are kind of lucky because we're older guys that kind of have adapted over time. I mean, we all got them friends that are like you can't tell them nothing about today.
You can't tell them nothing.
Nothing. You can't tell them. No, they don't want to hear it.
They don't want to. They don't want to hear nothing about John Morant. I done been there and done that. You know what I'm saying? You try to talk to them like for instance, you try to describe like a Jamal Murray to him. When you say, "Well, Jamal Murray is really skilled. He tries, try real hard, man. He don't jump out the gym. He don't run the fastest. He's not the tallest. But some nights he's just gonna give you the business." Yeah. Right. And so they were like, man, I done been there and done that. Man, I remember watching Mitch Richmond. And so I'm like, bro.
I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that shit. These kids today are soft.
There were two parts to that question. Because you feel like you understand the game at a better level now, does it change how you view like past events that you've seen as a child, or like how you contextualize what you saw back then with what the information that you know now about the game? Like, does it change like your memories or How you
No, because that's what made me fall in love with the game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like for me as a fan of sport in general, but just in basketball alone, like I feel I've evolved with the game, you know, as my knowledge and my appreciation for all the athletes and all the things they do, like the game of basketball evolved over time, and me and my perception of what I see, you know, the little nuances, like the little like things between the players, like I noticed little things, you know, the little intricacies that I didn't catch when I was younger. And sometimes I've gone back and reappreciated it. Like sometimes I go, because now that I'm more knowledgeable, I'll go back and appreciate things more, like that I didn't appreciate when I was a jit. You know what I'm saying? Like the '90s Knicks, like back when it was happening, I loved it. I thought this is the way your team's supposed to. Yeah, I took it for granted. I was like, oh, this is the way it's supposed to be. Now it's like I look back on it, I'm like, man, that was a good time.
And
now you how many different things that you have to do consistent.
And Drake, to answer your question, too, what I do is I make it relational, right? I make it relational. Like I try to create the same experience that I had back then for people that are younger or to like new to the channel. So that's why it sounds like I'm long-winded, but what I'm actually doing is building up people's sensibilities to an event, right? Painting the picture. Painting the picture. It's the reason why,
Details.
like when EG 14,000 talked about Hartenstein. See, in today's age, people are like, man, no, we don't want to hear it. You already said that one time, or you know, he ain't done it yet, and they don't want to hear it. But what you do is when EG 14,000 talk about Hartenstein, I ask more questions to broaden the scope of the conversation. You know, don't just say he's going to be good. He's going to be good. I'm like, oh, well, okay. What makes this dude good? You don't have to answer. That's rhetorical. But I'm saying, how is this dude going to be good? How is he going to impact others? And you paint this picture, and people use their imagination to get to join the conversation. And that's what it was like when back in the day, like in the 70s, bro. In the 70s, I used to get the daily news because they used to have all the box scores from every game. So you talking about 1975, 76, 77, 78. I used to get the daily news every day and look at the box scores, right? Like, you know, so I'm looking at the box scores. I'm like,
I had Newsday.
Yeah. And so I followed it that way because by the time Sports Illustrated came out, it was like once a month. By the time Sports Illustrated came out,
man,
they would have just like one featured article, and then they would have a recap of the previous 30 days, and then a projection about what's to come. So when I saw every time I saw the Sports Illustrated rolled up with you remember how it used to be rolled up in the plastic with the rubber band around it? I used to take that thing and haul ass in the house and spread out in the living room. Back then, we used to have a floor model. Like, it used to have EJ, I know you don't know this, bro, but back in the day, TVs used to have this thing called a picture tube. And so you used to have to pull the button, and a little dot would show up in the screen. And the TV had to warm up. It had to warm up before you could actually watch TV, bro.
The screen would come up.
And I know that seems like I'm being condescending. I'm not. I'm telling you, bro, this is for real.
There was no remotes back then. You had to get up and turn the channel.
And you only had about 5 or 6 channels.
Yeah, that's it.
Yep.
Tape delay.
Yep. And so what I would do is look at that Sports Illustrated, bro. What I would do, look at that Sports. I would read it from front to back. Just front to back. And then what I would do is go to the barbershop or the hair salon where they would have an extra Sports Illustrated. I would take that one and cut out pictures of my favorite athlete and just like put them on the walls and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, I did the same thing.
Man. Like
that was
Cleon Jones.
That was our internet. Like that was our and when you go to NBA.com or whatever, that was our that's what we had. How we got all our info. And remember Faces in the Crowd?
Yeah.
That little section. They used to have like if you were like a really awesome like high school athlete, you like did something like really awesome. Just so you know, I was interviewed for Faces in the Crowd.
Wow.
But, so what they do is I don't know how they kept doing it, but back when I was in school, I did pretty good in high school, whatever. So I had rushed for like 300 something yards in a game, and I had 5 touchdowns in the game. So
okay, Al Bundy.
I know. No, Al Bundy only had 4. I had 5. But there's been guys that have had 8 and crazy work, higher than mine. But for that particular week, month or whatever, I was like one of the top ones. And I was in Florida. So like what they do is it's almost like a lottery though. They actually they have probably about 50 to 100 athletes every month all around the country, and they interview a bunch, and then they pick which one they want to use. Mine wasn't picked, unfortunately, but I thought that was cool. And they used to have this thing called Parade magazine. Remember that Parade?
Yep.
And they used to have. I was going into my senior year. I was a Parade preseason All-American.
Okay.
I mean,
wow.
Yeah. Yep. So and see, back then that was like, these publications and like different things, like how we would learn about an NBA phenom is like they would talk about them in Sports Illustrated
or the Sporting News.
The Sporting. Remember that one they did when they had like that? That's like when they first started talking about like middle schoolers and stuff. Like, remember that one article they had like the best 6th graders, 7th grader, 8th grader, all that. Wasn't like one of them? A couple of them were pretty famous. I forget what it was, but I want to say one was like Kenny Anderson. Like he was like real little. Like I want to say one of them was
like Lamar Odom.
Yeah, there was like guys like that. Yeah, you would always see, and they were like legends. They were like these folk heroes. Like we didn't have YouTube. Like we really couldn't see highlights of these guys.
Right.
So there would be these stories we'd read, and like you see some pictures of them. Like we didn't have video proof of it. We just had to take these magazines word for it.
Yeah, man. Yo, those were the times too, man. Hey, Sally, you still there?
I think he's gone.
Sally might be. I'll post that. So, there he is.
I was just about to say goodnight to everybody.
All right, boss.
Yeah, we're telling you a bedtime story with all these old hat stories.
I appreciate all
that's what you get. That's what you get for letting me talk about Larry Bird, bro.
Yeah.
Much love, man. Y'all have a good night.
All right, boss.
You brother.
All right.
Later.
But so that's why sometimes us, I'm invested in this team. I mean, I like the saying.
It's life. It's life at this point.
You're the saying like you can pick your friends, but you can't pick your family.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like you're born like at this point, like the Knicks is me. It's part of me. Like I can't quit them. I can't divorce them. You know what I'm saying? Like they're my family. Like I've had a longer relationship with the Knicks than the only people I've had a longer relationship with are my parents.
Exactly.
Bless their soul, they're still alive.
Yeah, man.
But like my sister's a year younger than me. I've had a relationship with the Knicks just as long as my sister. You know what I'm saying? It's like so that's how much I love this team, man. You know what I'm saying? That's why I get so I'm a fan. I'm a homer. Like this is my
let me ask EG this. EJ, how in the world, and don't tell me you from Colorado, bro. That's too easy. How in the world did you become a Denver Nuggets fan? Are you also a Denver Broncos fan?
I am.
Are you also a Colorado
Rockies right here?
fan?
Wait. This is my Broncos shirt. Wait. We won the championship, Super Bowl. Yeah. I'm also a Denver Broncos fan. I'm also a Colorado Rockies fan. I think I have a.
Okay.
Are you an Avalanche fan too?
Respect.
Well, I'm
Sometime with hockey.
When they're good, everyone's an Avalanche fan.
Well, they came a little later. They used to be the Winnipeg Jets, right?
Yes, they were.
I would say, so to answer the question,
but they also had Colorado also had a team before them. And that team moved to New Jersey and became the New Jersey Devils.
Oh,
wait, no. Were they the Quebec Nordiques first? They were one of the two. They were one of those. Yeah.
Hockey's not my forte.
Okay. Well, what about the Nuggets then?
Yeah.
Because I'm interested in hearing who your first favorite player was.
My first favorite player? Well, Carmelo obviously is like the player everyone really points to, but I wasn't really into basketball really young. I was more when I was really, really young, I was more in my imagination, where it was like everything was like I would play in my backyard for like literally hours on hours on hours just in my imagination, right?
So you were human, okay? Because a lot of us did that too. A lot of us used our imagination. We just did it on
daydreaming. Pre-internet.
So when it comes to the basketball, I really got into the Nuggets after all that news came out after they traded Carmelo. Right, because there was a bunch of attention on the Nuggets, and then the Nuggets, I think they won like 10 straight games after they traded Carmelo or something crazy like that. We won on it, and that's when I started really grabbing on, really paying attention to it. When it was just so fascinating how we traded our best player. I remember telling my grandpa, I was like, well, who's our best player now that Carmelo's gone? Is it going to be Gallinari? And then we ended up winning. It was just the weirdest thing with Nene, with a group of just a team, right? A team was winning. And then that inspired me to really start going into the Nuggets deeper, right? And after that, it was just obviously the championship, but when we were playing Kobe, but even then it was so I wasn't really a big fan until we traded Carmelo. If that makes sense. It's kind of weird. It's kind of contrarian, where normally a lot of people were Carmelo was the one that got them into the Nuggets. To me, it was actually when we traded Carmelo and got better that got me into the Nuggets, which is really like strange, but it's different. But that's how I got into the Nuggets, really.
Okay.
Well, but that was like what 2010, so that's about 12 years ago. So
wow.
Yeah.
So the Nuggets were always a team, like for me on the side. Like I always like some players. Like I don't know why I always like Robert Pack for some reason. I used to love him. I don't know if you ever heard. You know, he's an old. He was actually he fit the mold, like that explosive guard thing. Yeah, he was like a rent-a-cop version of like Steve Franchise or something.
6'1", 6'2", explosive. Hot.
Yeah, he went to USC.
Yeah.
And
McDyess before he got hurt.
Boo! Don't mention names.
LaFonso Ellis.
Yes, my family loves LaFonso Ellis. Like literally, they're in love with him. Like it's just, he's very big in Denver. So
yeah, man.
Anyway.
He put in a lot of years. Hey, man, listen, everybody. Seems like everybody disappearing, man. Let me get out of here.
Because I'm being in trouble in the morning. Thank you, Freeze, for allowing me to be on with you tonight.
Have fun with the championship. Harden's going to win you this year. I appreciate you. You're going to be very, very happy.
And you going live? You going live?
Me? Wait.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, not right now.
No, I ain't talking about right now. I'm talking about tomorrow.
Tomorrow, I'm going to live tomorrow. Most likely.
Okay.
Most likely.
And what's the name of your show?
EG 14,000. It's just the same name.
Yeah. It's just
okay.
Consistency.
I'm gonna check you out.
Yeah. Please, yeah. Right now, I'm actually making a Hardenstein video. I'm writing a script for my Hardenstein video.
Okay.
Where I'm just trying to explain everything in detail, and I want to do it in like a quick 5-minute video, where I can just explain everything. But it's, it's I've never made a video before.
It's work.
Yeah, I've never made a video before, so it's
So where are you getting your footage from?
I don't know yet. Like right now. I'm just making the script, and then I'll add everything afterwards.
Okay.
So, but it's
You know what you should do? You should try to somehow get a hold of Hartenstein's people. Tell them you're doing a special appreciation video of them.
Yeah. Maybe. I feel like I had to make the video first.
No, I got
it. Yeah. Anyway, but it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. Have
All
fun
right,
with the
good night,
championship.
fellas.
All right, y'all.
See you later. See you later.